Oh, see you. I see you. I can't hear you though.
What are we jamming to? That's Mariah Carey.
Yeah, Mariah Carey.
Nice.
On repeat.
We're feeling like sexy 90s today.
You know, that was a great song that she had. I'm pretty sure that was the one where she dressed up like a mermaid and she was like the pearl in the clamshell in the music
Oh,
video.
oh, okay.
It was iconic.
I miss the MTV days, kind of. I'm not gonna lie. There's something just, you know, so good
I
about
was a BET kid.
it. What?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I used to go home and I used to write down. So I was in Catholic school and I had a crush on a kid, Kyle Brandon. He was half black, half white. His dad was he was not a lunch lady, he was the lunch guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
The lunch man.
I feel like he was, I don't know, but Kyle was very diluted black. Anyway, I went home to go like learn the thong song back in the day, but this was like before the internet that we could like look up the lyrics on the internet.
Mm.
So what I would do is I would watch like the top 10 countdown, and then whenever they played the song, I would like quickly write down the lyrics because I could go so I could go and sing it to him.
That's hilarious. How did he take it? Did he like it?
Oh, he fucking loved it, dude.
That's
Loved it.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
It never worked out. I His friend Justin Keenan liked me, and Justin kind of looks like an albino now that I think of it. And I think I've even found him on Facebook in the later years. This kid is so blonde. He's in the albino side of things.
just like
Anyway,
white hair.
kind of scary. White hair, like almost like red eyes because his eyes are so blue.
Mm.
What'd you end up working on today? Any contact
Oh,
from Hong?
no, not after. No.
You could write. I mean, I used to do it. I'm not recommending it, but you can write your own documents. Obviously, if you have an attorney, don't do that, right?
I'd
But
like for him to do it.
yeah,
I'd like for him to do it, him to record it. It'll get there.
it will get there. What'd you end up working on today?
Oh, things and stuff and things. What did I work on? Just trying to keep things moving. Um, that Lynn lead is a good one. I scheduled an in-person with them on Thursday. That was like the husband, like I spoke with the wife and she kind of liked me. They had like another agent who was there, was like really pushy trying to get them to sign something.
You
And
had
then
a
the
good
husband,
call. You had a good call with the husband. You guys had a heart to heart, and you were like bromance, and then like rubbing chest hair together. And then
yeah.
it was yeah. And they wanted to, I guess, have a follow up conversation or bring you back. You were the only one who had explained to them what life was like, and they really appreciated that about you.
Absolutely. And so he called me back. I didn't even need to bug him. And both of them were on the phone. And they're like, yeah, like
Good.
we really need to meet with you. And I was like, okay.
This is one of your leads through your wholesaling group.
Yes.
Nice.
I've gotten like other just referrals out of the woodwork. Like some kid who used to bring me leads, like found me on social media. And like I got a
Good.
text through my call rail. And I was like, oh shit, this kid's back. And he just like he dumped two leads in there. And then another kid called me and was like, hey Mark, I have something maybe you should talk to. So um
I like that you post your local home offers when you close your deals and that you're posting it. I love that. Because I think it sets the precedence that like you're doing deals and you're closing them. So for example, I had another friend that I was like, bitch, you know I buy over there. How come you didn't ask me? But I'm whatever. I'm talking about other things on social media and not I close deals. And so I think it's kind of paramount that you swing a little energy that way.
have to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really just scheduling some appointments. I was supposed to I'm all screwed up with my days. I don't know what day it is. I am like retired, but not. I was texting back and forth with the Farmington deal guy, and I need to go get doc sign from him. And
Mhm.
like we had agreed, he agreed to Tuesday to meet, and then when I confirmed, like I guess it auto corrected to Thursday. I was like, great, see you 6
Ooh.
on Thursday. And like, but I had it on my calendar as today, and so I'm like, hey, I'm leaving soon. He's like, you said Thursday, and I looked back and I was like, fuck. So trying to get that. It'll get done. I just want it done.
What's the document?
So oh, like a lease option and stuff.
Why are you doing that when you have a VA?
A TC.
That's what I meant. Good call.
His email is like full or whatever. Like we just cannot get documents through. Like I've personally gotten documents signed through him through that email previously, and it's no like dot loop sends a bounce back, like Lily's sends a bounce back, and he's like one of those guys like I don't know what's wrong with it, right? So I'm just like I'm coming to meet you,
Mm,
and yeah.
okay.
So try to keep that going. Um, Reached out to contractors to try to send them some information about stuff that they want to quote. We're trying to hold like a time block between 12 and 3 on Monday the 23rd. So it's the Monday after closing. So we can get people in there. So I just like email everybody out some stuff about that. Did, lead follow up.
Why are you so tired?
What do you
You said you're so tired. Your days are screwed up and you're so tired.
mean? No, I don't think I said I was tired just then. My days have been all screwed up. I don't
It's
know.
it's recorded. It's recorded and you said it. So
Well, I don't know.
and somebody drove to a meetup yesterday and then slept at the meetup.
I was tired last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been staying up late, waking up early. I also haven't been smoking for like a couple days, week or so. So it's a little bit of it. So I think my sleep is a little,
Are you trying to quit cold turkey?
well, it's the only way to do it.
Men are so funny. You just have like one goal and then you run to it. Like zero strategy. You're just like, oh, kill lion. Okay. And that's it.
That's the only way to do it, because otherwise I'll be like, oh, I'll just do it this time, and then that time turns into every fucking time. Like that's just how it works, you know. So yeah, but I don't think I went to bed till like 1 last night or something, and I woke up at 4 for some reason. And yeah, just trying to
I'm
keep
on,
it going.
I'm on the wavelength of now everybody has I keep cutting these out. Oh, there she is.
You kicking her out? Come on,
No, no, no,
don't do
no.
that.
What up, mama?
Loans due.
Hi.
Love it.
Hey. So actually, Mark, she knows Pam. I want to
Nice.
get you to know Pam because I love and adore Pam.
Oh my
Um,
God, she's amazing.
yeah, no, she's next level energy, and I don't even know I don't know a good way to describe her, with the exception that I think my friend stole from me. I got really depressed. I hired a coach. So she is one of my coach's other students. And then I found her and I loved her simply because she said, my name is Pam Barty, rhymes with party. And I was like, bitch, say less. Like, what else do I need to hear from you? I'm in immediately. And since that time, like, I'll be honest, like another conversation I need to have with her. And she's so on the next level of like the woo woo. I call it the woo woo. She talks about things that I don't know about, and then like she'll show me something at her house. She has a machine that supposedly changes the energy not only around her house but like it's a physical thing, and they're like, do you feel it, Suzanne? And I'm like, no, I think I'm retarded. Like, I don't feel it at all. Either I'm broken, I'm not an elevated person, I'm not registering any of this stuff, but I'm like, yeah, kind of. Anyway, but Jay Lopes is on the call. I love seeing you, Jay Lopes. He's Everlasting Home Solutions out in Haverhill. He lives on 8th Street in Haverhill. I
Eighth
drove by your
Ave.
house the other day.
It's
Eighth
the abs,
Ave.
Suzanne.
Eighth
Okay.
Aves.
That's what
Learn
I
it.
meant.
Learn it. Learn it. We talked the whole 30 minutes
What
this
are you talking about,
afternoon about
Lynn?
what?
You live on 6th Street in
No, no.
Haverhill.
I live on 8th Ave. We talked
Okay.
about the Aves this
Listen,
afternoon.
I'm very close, okay?
Sure. Sure. I love you, miss
Yeah.
you. What's up?
Congrats, man. That's awesome. Happy to hear that.
Appreciate you, brother. Long time no talk, Mark. It's been a while since I connected with anybody from Sub 2 or anybody in in this real estate space. I've been a lone wolf, kind of doing my own thing. Just had to find myself, I guess. I had to find what reinvent myself, I guess would be the best term here. But
I
I'm
know it
back.
well.
Huh?
You know, it's crazy. He calls himself a lone wolf. He's the farthest thing from a lone wolf. He's kind of like you, Mark, like in a transaction. So I call Mark the stickler because he's watching out for, he's like working with an attorney. He has just attorney vibes whenever you do a transaction with him. He's watching out for everyone and he's representing everyone, which is nice. And Jace is so happy on this. But I'm telling you, when I want to bend something or I want something faster, I'm
Yeah,
dying on the inside where I'm like, come on, Mark, a little bit of gray area, not going to kill you.
right.
But
Well, wait, hold on. I think you're a little bit of hypocritical in that situation because like that's why I don't really love being like having a TC, to be honest, because like then I have to wait for it to get done. If I need something to get done and I can take care of it, I'm just gonna take care of it now. But a TC is literally like hours to me is grueling to wait for something, you know? Especially when it's like sensitive for a deal.
anyway, I say this because he watches out for everyone in the deal, and Jay is very similar to that. So, one of the first deals that I ended up doing was with Jay. I had nothing on paperwork, but I ended up like babysitting a crappy realtor who wanted to like shred the deal. It was like barely there, Durfee Street. I still talked to the other like wholesaler that came out to meet me and like try to swing a deal. And I was like, bro, highest and best. I'm not fucking with you. Like, give me one number. Don't ever call me back again. And now we're friends forever. But Jay Lopes, after closing it, these guys tried to give me $500 because I brought them pizza. That was it. And I thought it was really sweet that like this was the culture back in the day with like sub two is that we watched out for everybody. It wasn't like I'm going to keep everything to myself. It was that we're a family. We're so excited to do a deal together because I think when we first started, nobody had done a deal. And rather than like pointing fingers and being like, you're worthless, you didn't do shit, whatever, it was all systems go to try to do a deal together and help each other get there. And so that's where we started with it. And I love Jay for that. That we want to build together. He gave me access to systems. Yeah, wonderful. So this lone wolf stuff, I don't know if you got in your head or a situation happened.
No. I had some, again, like I said, I had a health scare that was a
Yeah.
serious thing. I had to go step away and really. It literally spooked me. I had to check my life. Like, yo, what do I really want to do? I got family, I got kids, got a wife. It's like a mother. I gotta. I'm 37 years old, 38. I'm too young to be dealing with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had to go handle that
Hmm.
so I can better myself and get back to what I enjoy and what I want to do. So yes, now that everything's back on track, and I said, you know what, fuck this W2 shit. I'm like, every time I get momentum, I'm killing it, and then I'm back at the W2 and I'm like back in the rat race, and then I lose momentum here, and then it's like I got to start all over again. So I said that to say this, like, fuck, I got one YOLO. I'm bringing back the YOLO. One life, one. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying.
One life to live.
One
Is
life
that
to
what
live.
you thought
No, but
YOLO was?
YOLO,
You only
you
live
only live
once.
once. But I'm saying I'm bringing it back. Like,
One
YOLO,
life to live. That's what
one
I'm
life
gonna
to live.
call it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
important.
No,
That puts things in perspective, you know?
100%. When you get a life scare like that, fucking, I'm telling you, like you start to really think differently. A lot of people that you might have. Yeah, not really done wrong, but you had some unpleasant words with. You could kind of go and fix that situation, make amends. We might not be like best of buds, but at least I can clear my conscience. Shit's good. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back on my shit. In the meantime, I went and got my license. I felt like I came across a lot of sellers that just wanted a list, and I couldn't offer that and that option or that tool and tool belt, and then I didn't feel like anybody could turn to it. I had a couple people in my wheelhouse that I was close to. I thought I'd kick them never asked for a referral fee, but I kicked them the listing, and then I'd be like, yeah, what happened? Did you end up getting that listing? Oh no, like because they fumbled the bag. They didn't
Yeah.
like how we deal with sellers. We like are more caring and more like they just not to say all realtors are like that, but they more or less only care about if it's closing for the commission purposes. Where sometimes, yeah, we want to buy the property, yeah, we want to add a discount, yeah, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the seller's getting taken care of, like they get that what they're supposed to get, and we see it through the finish line. out of 10 times. Now, obviously, everything doesn't go as planned, attorneys, titles, all that shit. But I felt like I gave a couple people a couple slam dunks. All they had to do was just help, and they were too lazy to help the seller with a couple paperwork or help the seller move a couple items out of their property or fucking rent a dump truck, fucking U-Haul. And I've paid a fucking in Cherry Street, Cherry Valley at like Worcester. I paid $500 and I rented a moving company to two elderly couples to move up their stuff out of their house into a storage so I can to my end buyer, so be able to fulfill the agreement where we are delivering the property vacant. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I came out of my pocket. I went the extra mile to, and I made sure that they couldn't lift. They were 80 years old. They're not lifting. They're not moving. And nor do I have time to be fucking lifting. So but like some people won't do that. So, um, yeah. But I'm happy to be back.
You know what I just remembered? So we
What?
had this one time we were trying to get into a house and we couldn't figure out how to get into a house. So we had Jay dress up as an inspector and we sent
Oh,
him with like a ladder.
I remember that.
Just remembering like
I remember that. We did some crazy shit. We did some crazy.
to like be a certain way. Yeah, it's a good time. He had like his wife helped him get ready and like dressed him up and got him like a hat. I don't know, it was really cute. Yeah.
I
And
know.
he
I
had like a
definitely
clipboard
faked the
and
punk for that one. I definitely faked
tape
the punk.
measuring.
I
Yeah,
faked
I
the
think it
punk
was
for
like
that one.
Leominster, Fitchburg.
Yeah.
Like tenant situation.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. The guy had like one leg. I think he was peeing in bottles at that point.
Yeah.
There was a ramp
David
involved.
was his name, and the seller was trying to get him evicted, and he's like, I got nowhere to go, and he wasn't paying. He hadn't paid in
Oh
rent
yeah,
for like 2 years, and,
one-legged
and he
David, and we're like, how do we kick out a guy with one leg?
and he was giving me like the sob story and this that, and I was and she still has that property. She tried to hit on the Suzanne. She like literally like boned Suzanne through the phone, like, oh my God, when are we having lunch?
I
You
don't
remember
remember
Les?
that.
You remember Lesbo? You remember the Lesbo?
I remember something like that. I've had worse than her, so I
Oh, okay.
probably, you know what I mean?
Everybody hits
Like,
on you.
it's that was not memorable at all.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
not,
it was
I'm not
it
going to
was it was
Leominster
it was
anytime
good.
soon.
Hey,
I do kind of remember her now. Yeah.
correction. It
Anyway,
was
so
2020, not 2021, by the way. Sub two.
yeah,
I was on before you, my boo.
you were 21. I'm 21. I'm January 21.
Yeah, I'm 20 September 2020.
Listen, don't worry. I
I'm
know
just
you.
saying,
I
correction.
know you're a good dog. Calm down. Calm down. Yours is bigger than mine. I know. We're good. Um, but so what I explained. So Jay Lopes, you know Mark
Right.
through what?
Through sub two, we went to a property together in Haverhill
Mhm.
a whiles back. He ended up selling that property. You know, Mark, you know that?
To his boss.
Yeah, he ended up selling it to like for like 6.25, which we thought obviously I don't know what you offered him.
Low.
I was at like 470 or 450, something like that. He was
Yeah, it
like,
was
"Oh, I
somewhere.
need 600,000, something like that." It was a shithole. You've seen it, you know.
You probably could subdivide that, to be honest.
Right,
But I think what he was doing is one of his goals was, I think he said he could have sold it. His boss was down to buy it and allow him to live there until he died,
right,
and that's for free. And that's supposedly what happened.
right,
Well, I don't know. I didn't check, but I remember that house. I liked it because it was a double lot. Not the worst part, but like getting to maybe not the best part. I think
right.
like
It was decent.
it was a good street. Like that part of the town was fine,
Yeah.
but
So,
But so he ended up leaving White Acres after 5 years. He went on his own local home offers at the beginning of this year. He's done really, really well. I think he had like 3 closings in the first quarter. He's picking up steam. He has a wholesaler group that he runs, so that's another lead channel for him. Mark, you tell him what you do.
yeah, that's what I
why did you
do.
leave White Acres though? I want to know why you leave White Acres. I thought they were phenomenal over there. I heard
It's
nothing but good
it,
things.
it's fine, but like my issue that I needed to fix was I need to fucking be in control. I need to control the deals. That's it. I put in 50, 60 hours a week, busted my ass for them, made okay money, right? But like I didn't have access to deals. What I wanted to do was buy rentals. So when it came to me actually getting pre-approval and going to buy rentals, I'm fucking shopping on MLS. Like
Mm,
this is silly. And
right,
like, they were sending me on appointments like all over the state. And I was like, can we do like regional? Can I like
right.
stay up in like North
North
Shore,
Shore.
like
Yeah, yeah,
Boston
yeah.
and North? Like there was times where like I would be driving to the fucking Cape, and then there was a kid who lived in Boston that was in acquisitions that like drove to fucking Haverhill, and I was like, fuck no.
That should be switched. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be
You
switched. Like
guys
I just want
couldn't.
to
You
focus
guys
on
couldn't
my
swap it.
area.
You couldn't swap. Like you guys
It
couldn't
was
swap.
like they just, I don't know. I recommended, multiple things, certain different times. Either way, it was still good. At the end of the day, I need to control my own deals. I need them in my name, and I need to figure out what I want to do with them because eventually I'm going to be buying them.
Right.
So that is the change that needed to be made.
Were they heartbroken when you left?
Nah, they'll figure it out. They always do.
They'll cry now looking at his Instagram. He's been putting up deals. Yeah, he's been doing good.
They'll be fine. It'll be good. But yeah, ever since I've just been solo though, so it's like going on 6 months being solo. I eventually want, to bring some people on or whatever that is, whatever that looks like. But yeah.
What do you think being at your 6 month mark? Your 6 month mark now.
I'm right on track for what I budgeted for my goal for the year. So I mean that's fine. So it's fine, right? Like if I end up doubling then I'll be like ecstatic. It's possible. One or two deals can change that. Um, but yeah, I'm on track.
Good. Jay Lopes, what are you hoping to do now that you're back in the saddle?
Um, Honestly, I'm looking to wholesale a few more deals, but I wanna start taking property down. It's just like Mark. I wanna start acquiring some properties inland, some rentals in my backyard. Obviously, that's I love my backyard. Lynn Haverhill, acquire some multi units, and I'll sprinkle in a couple of flips here and there. I'm not nothing too heavy, cosmetic. Nothing real extensive. Something in and out in like 4 or 5 months.
Why do you not want to be extensive?
Because the cash it's so cash heavy in the front end. You know what I'm saying? So like, and then obviously you're babysitting there. You're going to go on supplies, materials. Like you enjoy that. So I understand.
No, I
I
don't
don't.
enjoy that side. That's
And,
why I'm laughing.
you know what
You're
I'm
like,
saying?
"You babysit them," and I'm like, yeah, I know, I don't like it. It's
Exactly. And I have a wife and two kids that I gotta still spend time
yeah,
with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to divide myself up. I can't be doing all the like a full gut and then be like, oh, something happened, Jay. We need a permit. So oh, this and that. And I gotta run out. Like right now, I told wifey, say, hey, I want to jump on a call with Suzanne. I told her I will jump on. Say, oh, it's bedtime. I'm like, you're gonna have to wait for a little bit. Look, put the kids down. They're like in the room now, waiting on me for like a half an hour, whatever I told them. But yeah, that's my thing. I'll do flips. I want to really start acquiring rentals is my goal for the year. I would love to get at least two before the end of the year. One in Haverhill, one in Lynn, but we'll see how that turns
so
out.
Mark and I went to, today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday. What a earth shattering fact that is. But I bring this up because we went to a meetup on Monday with Jason Goldfarb. I
Yeah.
like him. He's great. And he ended up bringing on Andrew Freed and Zach Gray. These
Hmm.
two guys do you know them?
I've heard of them. I haven't met them, no.
Out of Worcester. Like I used to know, I did mushrooms with Andrew Freed. Okay. So I saw him 3 years ago and it was a different kind of man 3 years ago. And when I see him today, he's like in shape. 350 units in 3 years is bananas. And the thing that's changed, the thing that I think, at least I heard last night, and Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they did commercial loans, 6.5%, pretty much everywhere. I asked them, where the hell are you finding 6.5%? He goes, everywhere. He goes, this, and gave me a rundown. I got to ask him again for the list, but they're all small banks. It's not big stuff. You go in for a construction loan. So two things, he goes in with the construction loan and he says, you're not based on the current, like what's currently happening. It's based on pro forma. So if you can show them what that property can do, they will give you the money to get you there, which is baller. So anyway, they're having a lot of success. So construction loan, 6.5%, that's 5 doors and up. They're touching everything and they're being a little bit, they said a couple of different things that like set them apart from everybody else. So they said, number one, when you're in construction, you don't have to deal with end buyers, residential. It's a lot less of a smaller buyers group. And then they also do the hairier deals because investors are lazy. They don't want to do a lot of work, but if they're young and they got the sweat equity and they can put it in, to put it in. The other thing they said they're really good at is operations. And so they went through a whole list of when they first acquire property, they send out a welcome letter, then they sit down 30 minutes with every single tenant and have a certain conversation with them. And by month 12, they're doing a cash out refinance and they're almost able to pull out everything. Most people take 3 years to be able to pull out the initial investment. They can do it in one. So
That's awesome.
it's really impressive. I have some notes on it. I'll do my best to try to share it with you. But the reason why I bring it up is tomorrow in Worcester, Andrew Freed is hosting his regular REI, simplified REI. It's a thing that he regularly does, his meetup. It's the whole reason how he found his business partner, Zach Gray, now that he's had all this success with. And so it's tomorrow in Worcester. It's probably about an hour away. I know you got kids, right? But it's
What time is it? 7?
it's in the calendar. So I have a
All right.
calendar for us.
I seen that. Yeah.
You just need to get to my cheat sheet. And you back in the day kind of saw me build everything from the beginning. So, and you know me, so you know kind of what I do, but there's a couple of great resources that I have. One is the cheat sheet. So it'll give you a rundown of everything that I have. I know Mark knows everything because he's like the one person who actually listens to me. But he's actually gone through it. But there's in the cheat sheet, I think the fun stuff that I have to look at. Number one is I have a directory for us. No thieves involved. I will cut you physically, metaphorically, spiritually. What else can I do to you? Emotionally, I will fucking cut you. Anyway, don't steal ever. So there's a directory of non-thieves. Then I have a directory full of like referrals, everything we have. So everything we had before, plus all the things that we have now. And then I have a social calendar because I told you before, I'm like going around kissing babies, shaking hands. Every time I say that, I keep getting it wrong where I'm like shaking babies, kissing hands. And then I'm like, no, that's a bad idea. But you know what I mean? Going out, meeting people, meeting good people, Jason Goldfarb being one of them, Andrew Freed, Zach Gray, getting FaceTime with people like that so that in the event that I need to pull on people, I can pull on people. So there's an event calendar that I put together that I try to go to, but even if I can't go to it, it's been curated already. So you don't have to go search on this stuff yourself. You can just go to this calendar and then be able to see like events in Eastern Massachusetts sort of deal. Eastern Mass, and I still kind of service all of New England, even though I don't care about places like Maine, sorry, Keith, and Connecticut. I don't care about Connecticut. But anyway, it's all in there. And then the last thing that's pretty cool is I ended up leaving Sub 2 in leadership, and then I adopted a construction contractors group, which I love because it's very easy for me to find contractors. And that's that Contractors Help Contractors, MANH. It's all located in my cheat sheet. So when you get there, there's a link to a Facebook group. Join that. If you ever try to post and you don't see your post, just yell at me because most likely I have to approve it. And then just look at the way I've been meaning to write like a way that people should post in it. A lot of people are English as a second language. So you kind of just got to get to the nitty gritty and stop talking about like, my life, right? You just get to it. Like Andover, Massachusetts, motherfucking now, plaster, 1,500 square foot house. Like give them the things that give them all the questions that they're normally going to ask you, give it to them up front. And it's a really quick and easy way for people to message you and they'll give me their number right over the phone. They'll be like, I'll do 150 sheets at 8,000. And I'm like, cool. And then they'll ask you like follow-up questions like, do you want sand or no sand? And I'm like, well, what's the difference? And then I'll go back, be able to update my post and say, sand, I want sand, right? If I want gutters, 6-inch seamless, white, I don't know, however much, gauge, I totally forgot, but I get to write all those things. So it's a really great way. I get like 40 people responding when I post the way that I post, usually with a picture, usually just information only. And I usually do one trade at a time. So I'm not going to be like, hey, I need carpentry work and I need sheetrock, because very rarely is somebody going to be able to offer you both unless they know a guy that they're willing to put up for you, right? So if I ask for one trade at a time, it's really easy for them to be like, oh, I do wood, I can do her millwork sort of deal. I do plumbing, I can do the plumbing thing. I can't do plumbing and electrical. So I love that. If you look at it, it's like all my friends that are posting jobs, which is nice because that's what I care most about is people getting work they need done. So you'll be able to find that. But those are all my juicy bits that you are welcome to have. Yeah. Keith, do you know Jay? Sorry, Mark.
You're good.
You remember?
What's up, Keith?
How we doing?
How's it going, brother? Long time no see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, been a
It's
while.
been a few years or so, right?
Yes.
I think I might have seen. I think the last time I seen you was up at the meetup in. I think it might have been Z's meetup in Maine
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
with John Luca. I think Luca. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time, yeah. It's been some time. I'm back though. I'm back. Like I never
Good.
left.
Good to hear it.
Happy to have you back, Lopes. Big time.
It's good to
Mark,
be back. You know.
What were you
It's good to
saying
be back.
before I cut you off? My bad.
Oh, Jay, another interesting thing about Andrew and Zach is they'll partner with you. Like if you bring them leads, let's say you have multifamily leads and maybe it's something you can't take down yourself,
Mhm.
you bring it to them, they'll cut you in on equity. So I think that would like be like sure you could take it down yourself, I don't know, but like also you could literally get insight into
How they do it.
how they
Right.
do it. Like
Right.
they'll cut you a little bit of equity if you just do nothing and bring them the deal. If you're running around for 6 months and going to Home Depot and helping with quotes and meeting shit, they'll cut you in bigger, and then you're literally learning their
Right.
blueprint and how they do it.
Yeah.
So I think
That's why I'd definitely be interested in that.
yeah,
Really
especially if
learn
you're
how
chasing
to-
like bigger multis, because
Right.
like they'll come up with the funds, 10, 15, 20 units or whatever. If it's above what you might be able to do, just cut yourself in. Or you
Right.
could take an assignment fee, but like if you're trying to get rentals,
Yeah.
take the ownership.
Right. Appreciate that.
Lopes, people
Sir.
that you don't know on the call is going to be Jace. Jace, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my
Oh,
name is
yeah.
Eliz. I am Houston based right now. 12 out of 10. It's okay. Moved for the weather, stayed for the food because I grew up in Mass,
Okay.
and could not deal with another Massachusetts winter. So here we are. Um,
I got a cousin living in Houston, so
oh, nice. Yeah.
it's a good
So
area.
while my kids have been small, my focus has been private money. I have a couple like properties that I bought and then just could not handle anything else because they were 18 months apart and I was losing my mind. Now I'm back on my bullshit, as I will say, and looking to acquire some properties. I have a 2-family in Worcester I'm looking at next week. Um, and yeah, the game has changed a little bit in the last few years. So I'm trying to figure out if we're playing checkers or chess or twister. I don't know.
Let's figure it out.
Sure.
Slow it down. That's all.
Where'd you find the 2-family in Worcester? What's the lead source?
The pocket listing from a friend of mine who's an agent.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Amen.
Hi, Melissa.
You know Melissa?
Jay,
Yeah.
How the hell
Jay,
you know Melissa?
you were you actually introduced me to Jay like when I first was like a newbie, and we connected over I think like a behavioral property, like a potential behavioral property.
Mhm.
But I saw what Suzanne posted. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
With everything. That's awesome. And I don't know if this will mean anything, but when I started following you on Instagram and seeing you post your videos and kind of just really going for it, that's
Yeah.
actually what inspired me to start posting videos. So I've
Oh,
been like, you know, I don't like being in front of a camera. Like it's just very intimidating to me.
yeah.
But I'm like, hey, for business, like I just have to do it. So I just let it rip. And I've been recording myself, in and out of houses and stuff, and posting at least once a week. And I've been generating a lot of buyers that way. And it's actually all thanks to you and Suzanne, and literally like
Appreciate that.
everyone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great to hear because my friend, good friend of mine, he's a like a marketing guru essentially. And he's like, "Yo, Jay, you gotta get in the camera." And I can get in the camera. I'm not scared of speaking it. I'm just like, I just go with the flow. But when he said, "No, you gotta script it this way. You gotta this. You got the lighting and this, that, and the third." But then obviously life happened and had to pause that. But once I'll get back into it, I wanna stop getting the videos going too because I was it's just like yourself. People, you top of the mind. They see a video like, "Oh, Jason real estate," and when you kind of stop with the stories, even if it's once a week, at least they like you still remember, oh yeah, Melissa or Jay or Mark, whoever they're in the real estate space. You get those people calling for questions. Obviously, they just want to pick your brain, but then you get some viable leads, free zero marketing leads, which is huge, right? Once I stopped with the videos because obviously I had a health scare, I I felt like everyone forgot about me. You know what I'm saying? And so I keep recording, even if it's once a week. Just stay consistent. I think you'll keep generating more, and the more you get in front of the camera, I got a guy named Benson who's phenomenal, who will follow you around, and he's like a couple $100. He'll follow you around, like show up at your listing, or if you need like photos taken. He's such a good guy, such a great guy. Like very quiet, but that's all he does. He likes videos. He does like photography for people like feet that have, like do foot models or whatever. He does all these type of stuff. I'm telling you,
Oh my
he
gosh.
Benson's a guy, and he'll edit your videos to the mic up and all that stuff. He's phenomenal. He's the one that's following me. I got so many videos in our archive that I've never even released. I got a video of me going to the bank, and he recorded me and going into the bank, signing closing docs, and like I'm with the closing attorney at the bank signing the docs, and he's there. And she's like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And I'm like, "This is my camera guy." Like, I'm like, "Do you mind?" Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm mic'd up and everything. He's good. He's a good guy. So, he's like, "Yeah, Jay, let me
Awesome.
know whenever you want to do it. Get
Yeah,
back in."
share his contact information with me. I don't think I'm like necessarily there yet, but
No,
I definitely eventually need some B-roll and
right,
this like
exactly,
natural Kodak
exactly.
moment
He can
type
do that. Even if you record it and send it to him, then he do like the what's it called the
edit.
editing so you get like what's it called the clickbait stuff or like the hooks and the reels and those little photos that pop in and then like all this
Yeah.
you put like agreements and they put a picture of a contract in the middle of your video. It's phenomenal with all that stuff. So yeah, I'll send that info over to you. No problem.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Melissa, good stuff too, because I do watch your stuff and you put a smile. I have, but I'm like a terrible person because I'm like, oh my God, you're so cute. Like I generate zero business for you. Like I don't know, I should say something different, but you gotta tell it to me because I'm not thinking about that. I'm just happy to see your face. And I do enjoy what you put out there because I think you're right. Like you have that educational background. I think you're great for first time home buyers, gentle, like approachable too. And I think that's another thing about social media that helps you big time is you're not just a name on a piece of paper. People feel like they understand you, they know you, so they know how to vibe with you. And when your energies align, they're more interested in being like, she's my vibe.
Yeah.
I want to be on that wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just trying to like build my personality more in real estate and just trying to find what I like to do most. Mark, I didn't forget about you. I do have to do those cold calls. I just haven't got
You
around to them.
listen, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Well, I like to push myself like out of my comfort zone. It's just with school and everything, it was just so overwhelming. And now that
I,
I'm finally on summer vacation, I
I
can,
take it back. You have to do it now because you said you wanted to. So
yeah, hold me accountable. That's why I'm here today, because I want to.
Melissa, you have 4 jobs, right? So teacher, and then you were driving a bus.
Yes. And then I waitress as well. But I actually I stopped the waitressing job for the summer. That way, because like I usually work weekends at the restaurant and it's like those are prime time open house times. So it's like I rather take the time to do showings and all of that. So I've been really trying to focus on real estate. Right now I have no, 4 active buyers that have signed contracts with me, and I'm working on a fifth one soon. So I'm very excited.
nice.
But
Congrats.
I have quite the summer, um, you know, to be very busy. But yeah, thank you.
Melissa, you grew up in Quincy?
Yes, yep. I grew up, born and raised basically in Quincy. Lived in different like Weymouth and Lynn for like a very short period of time, but basically Quincy.
Beautiful. Hey, Jace, I wanted to ask you because you attended Invest Her Con. I saw a little bit of a write up that Melissa Mel did and loved it. Obviously, loved it. But I wanted to ask you, what was your experience? How did you go? What was your experience? Because I feel like you're leading something. I know you at one point you were like, I'm going to host a mixer on like a Wednesday, but like talk to me about Investor Con. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I will say like it's a very It's a little bit more of a Pamela Barty type event. It's a little more woo than a lot of investor events. There's some strategy. Like I feel like we led one of the more strategic workshops and it was pitching yourself like as either a buyer or a borrower or a lender. So, but that was one of the more heavy hitters in terms of like tactical, tangible strategy. So it's very unique from that aspect. It's a lot of mindset, a lot of working on limiting beliefs, a lot on like manifesting your vision, vision casting, stuff like that. So if that's your vibe and you are a woman, because it is InvestorCon, it's a cool event. Dudes, sorry, like we love y'all. There were some great sponsors there. Yeah, so I will say I went to this event last year and it was Mel actually gave me her ticket because she couldn't make it. I didn't really want to go, but it was like 3 hours from my house. So I was like, okay, let's go. I was in a really shitty spot. Like bandwidth wise, emotionally, last year I was dealing with the fallout of a partnership that ended up being like a 6-figure loss, which was most of my personal working capital at the time, like not out of my self-directed IRA. So as a private lender, like that made things super challenging. It was so the contrast between this year and last year for me, it was really good tribute to where you can be in a year. It doesn't feel like it's been a year, but like time collapsed. Things are very, very different. Um, it's a cool event. Like I struggle to put it into words because the networking's amazing. People are really genuine. It's kind of giving like older sub two vibes, I feel like.
When did you join?
Well, 23 as a
Yeah,
business partner.
yeah. I mean, listen,
What?
the whole reason even why I have like Creative Elite is I believe and not everybody has a good partnership. We've done deals with like friends. Shit's gone weird. I've had breakup fights with people that are now like best friends, and we're like, we're never going to do that again. That was stupid. But like, I believe that we can have more together. I like having friends. I feel like I've been in shitholes before, and the only way I made it through was having a friend to talk it out with me and just know that like life goes on, sort of deal. So I'm a big believer in working with people. There are times where I got jaded and was like, I'm going to be alone on an island. And that didn't work out. And then I, found my way back to doing this. And so that's why I want to do good work with good people that I'm good friends with, because life to me is just more fun that way. Um,
Yeah, it really is. And at that point, like I was and this is a partnership that started in 23. So I was very much being like inundated with like, just go out and do something, even if it's wrong, go out and make a mess and like figure it out later. And so for that, oh man, I like looking back because I was a partnership versus a lending deal. I was like, oh, I have more control. Did not actually would have been better off being in third position, which is fucking insane to me. Pardon my French.
mm,
Um, so it was like a very weird, and I'm still dealing with that today, the legal unravel. It involved a foreclosure, a death, like it's a
oh,
good telenovela for sure.
yeah. Yes. I did so with me too. I was like, oh, this is my real life K drama. Like it's so convoluted and fucked up. You can't fucking write this. Like
Like, could not
there's no
every time
way.
something happened, I was like, well, of course it did. It was this deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So explain to people kind of like what you do now, because I don't know Keith. I don't know that Keith knows you, and I think Keith actually needs to know you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to say like a small scale private lender because compared to some of the working capital, especially in the greater New England area, like holy cow, I'm small scale. I do some first position stuff, a lot of my sweet spot, and this is where relationships are so important. Primary markets for lending are Massachusetts and uh, North Carolina because the equity play is so strong that usually it's a lot safer to, if the property was purchased right, to have gap in those states. So yeah, we've just been killing it with gap deals and like some first position stuff, but it's mostly that's mostly shorter term. I will hold 12 months. Or I'm sorry, the gap stuff is shorter term, like 6 months or less. And then the first position deals tend to be longer, like 12 months or so.
Yeah. I had one other question, but I totally forgot.
It is all my own capital. I don't do any private placement. I might do some fractional loans, not through fractional. But like if, you know, you're like, hey, I need 200,000. I'm like, okay, I have 150. I'm gonna bring in one of my sister's friends who's gonna bring the other 50.
Yeah. You mentioned self-directed IRA.
Yes.
What is that? Do you do that? We've been searching for someone for the longest time who can do that. I
Yeah.
would love to be able to throw people your way if you can do that.
Like to set up self-directed IRAs
I
or
don't even to even get the process started. I think the last time we knew somebody was through Z. Had some one random lady up in Massachusetts, and I think she set it up. But after that, nobody knows what they're doing. They're like, we know we have this. We don't know how to touch it. How do we touch it?
yeah. So long story short, you have to know there. Okay, I'm trying to think of like how to high level this. If you can roll over an old 401k or an IRA or pretty much any type of tax privileged account. I'm actually about to roll over my HSA into a self-directed HSA where I can invest with it. You typically the process looks like moving it to a custodian, and you can leave it with custodian control or you can get checkbook control. If you have custodian control, they're going to want to see your deed of trust. They're going to want to see your promissory note. They're going to like review and approve those documents for you. This sounds counterintuitive. Y'all are probably like, why do you not have checkbook control? I keep custodian control because it is an extra set of eyes and oversight on things, even though I own a TC company, even though I am a certified lunatic in terms of you know, making sure everything matches and everything else. Like I still
Yeah.
keep custodian control because my custodian can move quickly. I'm not with like a Horizon Trust that takes 5 to 7 business days to process everything. I'm with a small outfit. I just transferred to a small outfit out of Westlake, Ohio. I transferred because my tried and true was not processing my expedited transactions fast enough. I'm like, I know you have everything you need to do this in the promised 2 business days. Where's the promised? Anyways, when you have checkbook control, you can just originate your own, like it's you call, you wire, you have control, a lot more control of your account. For your like family friend who wants to invest with you, who doesn't know much about real estate or tax advantaged accounts, I would keep the custodian aspect, especially with a good custodian who can process things quickly. I mean, you guys are all professionals. I don't think any of you are out here like 48 hours before closing, like, oh my God, I need a gap of $150,000, right? Like, but people do. So,
I mean, shit happens. I had a friend the other day who was like, "I hate my lender. I'm going to throw him in the trash. Who is going to do this for me?"
yeah.
And you're like, "Okay." So it does happen, but those are also the dicey ones where you're like, "Wait a minute." Anytime somebody is like, "I need cash," you're like, "Whoa."
Yeah. Yeah. What kills me is like when they were contracted 45 days ago and then come to me like a week before closing and they're like, I need money. It's like, you knew about this for how long? But that's just because I forecast out where all my funds are and where they should be for the next little bit of time. But yeah, so it is a great way to take advantage of. I may or may not have day traded out of my 401k for a while when I was working. So there was a decent amount of money in there. And then I just was like, what can I put this into that I can feel better about than the market? So
I have siblings that have asked me for years to like be able to do something, and I'm like, I'm not that smart. And then I've had other people ask me because, like Jay, coming out of a W-2 and like having money in there, and then him also knowing the other side of real estate and what's possible, there's something there we just can't connect the dots. If you have resources for self-directed IRA, if you could even consider like opening up a channel to have people come to you, like, because like you said, which I hate, where you're like, I'm a small capital lender because I maxed out all my own stuff, right? I would love to open up a channel for you, because I know you roll with Mel.
Yeah.
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 Jay, are you familiar with Mel Palmer? Maybe not.
No.
She's the girl who created the, what did she create? Passport?
The investor passport. Yeah. And her company's called Capital Verified. She does due diligence for, um, basically, like, so let me back up. She is a former special agent, has a lot of clearance access still. Doesn't really talk about that piece of it, but she
She don't
goes
want to get it
through.
taken away. That's why.
What's that?
She don't want to get it taken away. If I had clearance to CIA, FBI, or something that I had, and I was on the outskirts of it, and I still had access to the system, I'm not. I'm not even telling you. If you, I might not tell my wife. I mean, shit. I'm incognito out here. You don't know nothing, but I'm gonna do my dirt and find out what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So she performs due diligence, and it's almost like it's a third party verification of assets and history, basically. So if you come in, you're like, I've done 27 flips. She's like, great, let's see the entry and exit HUDs for those flips. Okay, you said you did this. Like, let's verify that. And so it makes it really easy. Let's face it, like a lot of lenders are lazy, and they don't want to do their own due diligence. That's the biggest thing I get in my TC company. People are like, oh, will you underwrite my whole deal and like do the due diligence? I'm like, no. First of all, I don't want the liability of it. Second of all, it's the worst part of all of this, right? So it makes it easier to get funding because you can kind of say to your lenders, hey, here's a stamp of a moment in time and everything that I've done up until this point. You can see that I have no bankruptcies. You can see that I filed my taxes. You can see that I did XYZ. So, yeah, she said she found someone was going to credit sponsor to a guy that had like 7 or 8 bankruptcies that he hadn't disclosed. Which, like, no judgment on one, but that's a pattern.
Yeah. No judgment.
I mean, there's judgment, but like,
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
that
have
was
a
one of
great
those red flags I missed with my partner completely, also not disclosed.
Yeah.
So.
It goes back to that. I remember there was a moment in time. I have not attended a Zoom call. I like left. I consider myself like shunned in the Amish, but like, sub two. Anyway, but there was a one point in time I remember he was ranting about trust but verify. And it's so true because at the end of the day, you have friends, you see enough that you're like, I feel comfortable, but you don't know what's going on. And like, that was the one thing that I found about Z before we started Enfield. He was pushing me to do Enfield. And I always say no. I don't know. I think that's a good crew. I think as a Korean kid, I was always taught to never accept and always say no until like somebody forces you to do something. And that's what ended up happening is he ended up having a kid and then he broke his foot. And so I said, okay. And I think like the month before we closed on Enfield, when I went back in time and I looked at his public record because I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on, I found out that he lost. Jay, you remember I used to call him Mr. Tukama?
Yeah. You
Do you
used to
remember why?
screaming from the mountaintops. I'm like, yeah, okay, Suzanne, we know.
I was just so proud. I was so proud of him because he was an immigrant. He was worth nothing on paper. And he had bought like 2 properties, or he bought his personal house and he bought like 1 investment property. Then he went to the bank for more money. And it was the first time on paper that he was valued at over $1 million. And so it was feel good moment for him. So I used to call him Mr. Tukama. The 2 properties that he had that got him to be Mr. Tukama, he lost right before we started fucking Enfield. And he didn't tell me at all. And that's the craziest thing to me is because I'm his best friend. I know this because I'm all up in his face every day. Like we exchange 40 terrible racist memes a day, probably. But like I talk to him all the time. There was never a whiff to me that something was wrong. Never. He's going out with his friends, jumping in like lakes and rivers, whatever you guys have in Maine with all his, Muslim friends. I'm watching him do this. There was no whiff of it, not even close to it. And it kind of shocked me that like the 2 properties that got him started, he fucking lost them. And when I looked at how much he lost on one of them, I think he lost for like 60,000. The other one he lost for like 180-ish, right? But like to lose a property for a little bit of money and to know all the things that he knows and not be able to rescue himself and now have a bankruptcy in his fucking personal name is just stupid. So trust but verify. Yeah. Anyway, Jay, I know you got to go do bedtime. I don't want to hold you up, but if do you want to, so you're wholesaling now, you want to continue wholesaling, you're interested in doing flips. What are you doing for lead generation?
Cold calling, text blasting. I got some PPLs campaigns coming in, buying some PPL leads.
What are you doing for texting? Because
Uh,
I
my
know,
s- my
I know it gets,
CRM.
which one?
Through my CRM REI Black Book. I
Are
have
you
like
still using that?
oh, I love what you know what's crazy when you finally start to get into real estate and shit, all the tools that you like because you know when we got into sub two, it's like a tsunami. Every
Yeah.
other week it was something a new.
Yeah.
Oh, no one left behind challenge, the elephant challenge,
Mhm.
the Alonza challenge. You know what I'm saying? So you start something and you're here, then fucking you over here, and then you're over here. You can never get any traction. I'm like, I thought I was losing my. Oh, I gotta be on the Zoom call. I was at dinner with my wife on my birthday on a fucking not how stupid I was, right? On a Zoom call with Pace like this, like a fucking bonehead, phone like this. Yeah, babe, as a meeting. Listen, pace on fucking like Zoom. What would you do? Like, because I had to be on the Zoom.
Listen, we all had the magic, right? We
Right.
all had the magic. You're fine, but yeah. Looking back,
So,
and this is a great part. Like Jace, you were talking about 1 year difference. I realized at one point in time, like the person I am today is not the person I was before I started all this shit, even with Z. And I'm thankful for that because at the end of the day, I've grown as a person. And to me, that growth is the immaculate part of it. It's the intangible, invaluable thing that I got that you can't take away from me. So
right,
for that reason, there's growth. And I
right.
love that. Yeah. All right. So REI Black Book with the texting. I know everything just changed about you can text now because you're not selling, you're buying. So that
Right.
changed.
Right. But
When
I
you,
was already compliant in the REI Black Book. They had the compliance thing. So I had been texting drip campaign and all that stuff for a while now. Now I don't text in a like it's like 500 texts a day. So it's like they cap me. But I'm a one man show, so I'm just it's enough for me. I'm getting viable leads, talking to sellers, doing follow up on my saying a lot of the deals I've been closing, just nurturing. Like what you
yeah,
used to say, follow up king, Jay's follow up king, Jay's
yeah,
follow up king, and I just those deals are the ones like okay, Jay, I'm ready to go now. Like a
yeah,
guy from Attleboro that I've been working on since last May. He's like Jay. I gotta get out of here July. I want to be in Lebanon by July 1st. Let's get it going. No problem. You know what I'm saying? So like just nurturing, keeping that relationship. Got a couple in Lynn that I'm working on that they're right there. They finally out of the probate process. One in North Brookfield. So just just staying consistent. But once I was able to kind of hone in on like this is what I want to do. If I just stay here and just do this consistently, yes, it's a slow process. But when I build that momentum, then I can deploy money into other avenues that can generate more leads, right? Maybe bring on, like Mark said, bring on somebody on to help me, you know what I'm saying? Bring acquisitions or a dispositions or whatever it may be, or do some PPC to get mixed in with the cold, get some warm leads coming in. So I'm not always outreaching cold sellers, So that's the plan. And then once I get that going, then I got the capital now to start taking. I got lenders and private money that want to deploy capital. That like, yeah, Jay, I've used it a couple times. They want to reinvest, so I can take down a couple properties. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take out every fucking property, but if I
yeah.
have a good chunk of it, I can go get gap lending and go get here and and make it figure it out. So I'm excited for what's in store for the rest of 2025 now that I can focus my attention here.
So texting, you REI Black Book, you're texting. That was the AI texting. Weren't you doing like Woo Sender at one point?
Yeah, Woo was, but Woo is very expensive. Woo is
Yeah.
very expensive, and it was the AI before everyone started talking about AI. I was on that. Remember, 2 years ago, I was talking about that automatic. It would respond for you once it learned your lingo. It would do respond in the manner that you would, like so. But I had to let that go. It was like $1,200, $1,500 a month. That with mortgage and kids, it's
Yeah.
too much when your deal flow isn't consistent. Now, if I'm doing 3 deals a month consistently, I'm not worried about that. But that with the W-2 was hard.
Going forward, what is your biggest problem?
Just trying to get rentals. I don't really think I have a big problem. It's just probably just getting more leads. Getting more leads. If anyone is selling on the North Shore, multi or single family flip, especially in the Lynn, Salem area or Haverhill area, let me know. Obviously, let me know. I'd happily look at it, and I'm ready to pull the trigger if the numbers make sense. I'm okay pay anyone fee, a wholesale fee, a commission if it's listed, whatever it may be. I got no problem on that end either. I understand. Obviously now it was I don't want to pay the wholesale fee. If the numbers make sense and they're making 20,000, whatever, it makes sense for me. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a different stage in life where I understand everybody got to make money. I'm game. I'm game. I'm down for everybody to make money. So
Now that I think you and I are the same age, but now that we're like approaching 40, I call it like
fuck.
we're approaching the hill.
Bro, my grays is coming in. And
You
I ain't gonna take off my hat. I cut my hair. You know how I was at the curls. I cut my hair down because I was like, oh, I'm gonna cut it out, get a fresh, clean cut. And I started seeing the thinning up here. I was like, oh boy, I'm letting my hair grow back. I've been putting the stuff to grow, every night. Like that's shit's scary. 40 on
Rogaine?
the corner, huh?
Rogaine?
Rogaine, rosemary oil, fucking other
Yeah,
oils.
yeah, yeah.
Tell me about it. I've
I'm
been.
getting hearing aids tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like we're not over the hill, but like 40 is coming and I'm feeling it. And Keith, just let me have this because it's scary. Listen,
Keith, you look good,
my
bro. You
my
look
hair's
good though,
growing
Keith.
out too.
You
My
can
hair's
do at
growing
least you
out
can
too,
a
and
full
it's
goatee. I
hormones.
can't even go. I can't grow a full beard, and I can't grow full goatee. You know what I'm saying? If I can get one of the two, I'll go bald. You know what I'm saying? If I can grow a whole beard, I'll go bald. I ain't got no problem with that. Call it light skin Jordan. But
I've seen guys that get it tattooed. You can get it
I'm
microbladed
not
to
doing that.
fill in. Okay,
That's
okay.
silly. That's very
Okay.
silly. Yeah.
Anyway, Jay, always good to see you. If you got to go do bedtime, go do bedtime. But yeah, you know the people that are on this call with the exception of Jace. Jace is wonderful. She's, I want to
I
push her
just
to
requested
do.
her on IG. We
I
officially friends.
wanna I wanna be able, Jace, I don't know if you're in our directory or not, but make sure you fill that out because that's one of the questions that I ask is like, what's your Instagram? So that people can, Instagram to me is your public personal profile of what you want people to see. And then I think Facebook is almost a better way to like build community. That's why I have the Facebook group there. But connect with each other. Again, they're good people. And if I ever find out like you're doing something sideways, I will light your ass on fucking fire because I'm nuts. So I think that's the vibe that I get. So for the most part, I vouch for everybody in that group. I
Is
do.
this every Tuesday? Is this every Tuesday?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
call it
Okay.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. I like it. Hey,
Yeah.
just don't let Suzanne ever help you build a trampoline.
Good to know.
Because of Suzanne,
I'm still
I
mad
fought
about
I
that.
fought over this damn trampoline spring. And I didn't think to YouTube it. And when I did, I go, me and Suzanne struggled for fucking 4 hours. 4 hours pulling the string by hand, like the
It
the,
was
the
really
spring.
bad.
And then when I figured it out, it was like bink,
Yeah.
bink, bink, and my kids are on it, loving it. Yo, but Mark, whenever you want to, like, I see you be on that, that camping stuff. I'm not really a camper, but I mean, yeah, you got dirt bikes. I got my motorcycle license, so if you want to, you know,
Yeah, I'm riding this weekend. What are you doing?
ups,
He's got
got
kids.
kids party to go to.
Fucking
Yay!
get them a dirt bike. Bring them on.
Oh,
Let's
my
go.
son
My
got
buddy
one.
and his kid.
My son got one. I gotta get me one now. He
Oh,
got one. I gotta get me one. He be
stop slacking.
tearing
Let's
it
go.
up, tearing it up.
Let's go.
Well, let me know, guys. I'll be on next week. We'll chop it up. Um,
I'll tag you in the cheat sheet, but just hang on to the cheat sheet because it has everything in there. Like
okay.
it's a table of everything. So just read through it one time deliberately, and you'll be like, oh, easy, 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 easy. I
I
got
know
you.
how thorough you are, Suzanne.
Yeah.
I know everything's in there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna have a meetup. I'm thinking I found a pizza place that I like over in Salisbury. Newburyport
Oh,
ish.
airport?
Okay.
Yeah. What is it?
Not the brewery?
Riverwalk.
Yeah, it's in Newburyport. Yeah.
It's not.
Isn't
It's
that by
it's a
that
brewery.
black? Wasn't that by that like water bay? There's a seafood place over there, and like Black Burger or Black Crow, something over there.
Black Cow is
Cow.
downtown, but this is
Yeah.
like over in the industrial park near Metro Rock in
Oh,
Newbury.
okay. No. Okay.
It's nice, but I was thinking about having just a who's who in North Shore, like who's doing the damn thing. Mark used to do a meetup. I think you knew this. Mark used to do a meetup back in the day with White Acres. It was kind of like generating wholesalers, but like what was it? North Shore, like.
Real estate investor group or something like that.
But he has an account with like meetup.com. And so when I finished the Andover house, we ended up doing a joint meetup together. So it was like our sub 2 people. This was after I left sub 2. So it wasn't like the heyday of things, but like sub 2 people that know me and then people from his meetup crew, which was nice because it's new blood. It's different blood. Yeah. Anyway.
Mark, are you not no longer in sub 2 either? Did you jump out?
No, I mean I'm in there. I never made use of it really, but I'm hanging out. I don't Here's the thing, man, like it's too much. It takes you away from what you're actually doing. It really you just focus on buying whatever their shit is and buying into it and trying to do that. And that's great. But it's too much. Some things like I hopped on one of the calls because Pace was giving away a mobile RV park list or whatever. And I couldn't make it on my computer. I made it on my phone. I tried to download the actual list on my phone. I don't know where the hell the Zoom files go on my phone. So like I missed it. Yeah, it's 9 hours later. He goes over on everything. It's like
I think I have it.
yeah,
I think it's an old, was this years ago? Because I remember like I used to
just
do.
yesterday.
I'm a
He
hoarder.
dropped one like a 17,000 list of RV parks like in the entire country or something. I'm trying to get my hands on it because I won't be calling that. So I got to ask somebody who's on the Zoom.
Yeah, he can never. Pace can never just give you the information. You gotta listen to him talk for like 5 hours, and
He's
I'm
a
like, God,
he's a great salesman because he gets you by the tidbits, right? All the genitals are tingling. You're like, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
9
and you sit
hours
there and
later.
wait, and you wait, and you wait, and then motherfuckers start raising their hand, asking questions, and then he goes
Listen,
through that spiel, and you wait for that, and then you get to the end, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, we'll be sending it out shortly."
I mainly joined for the Zoom vault and for people locally. That was the only reason that I wanted to join ever, you know.
and then when he joined, I completely shut everything down and cock blocked, specifically him. And then 2 years later,
You sure
yeah,
did. You sure
yeah,
did.
2 years later, I restarted it because of him. So full circle moment, growth, 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 growth,
Mark,
growth.
Yo,
well, what's your email address? I hit it. I got that download list.
you did?
Yeah.
My boy. I love you.
Drop it in the chat.
I'm putting it in right now.
So Keith, if you're comfortable, I would just have you drop it into Creative Elite. Because it won't be
You are so funny, young lady.
what? Just email me, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, I have funny posts. I have hard time posting stuff on Instagram. Never mind doing what you want me to do.
That's
So
funny.
just drop it in the chat.
Email you.
He'll email you, Suzanne, and you can put it in there. Boom.
You know what? Actually, today, Keith, I was going to ask you for your like Facebook login because you didn't post in my contractor group for the stuff that you have up in Bangor yet. And I was like, I think it would just be easier if I did it for him.
But yeah, Keith, that would be awesome because I literally was my computer's a little slow and I was on my phone and they were putting it in there and I downloaded it and I was looking for it and it was a short, very short Zoom. Shortest Zoom Pace has ever done. He was 15, 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like downloading it and finding it in my files and I ran to my computer and tried to start Zoom and like 10 minutes later it logged on. But he like paused the chat and you couldn't move the chat and I couldn't find the fucking file. It drove me insane. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here, but we'll be in touch. Let me know if there's any meetups. I'll jump on next Tuesday.
Next week we have some. So even if I just talk to you about today, so we had something on Monday, nothing today. Tomorrow
Thursday.
is the workup. Tomorrow is the one
Andrew Freed.
Andrew Freed, Worcester, and then there's Connecticut Real Estate Investing Association with Zach Beach. Zach Beach was one of my first buyers in Rhode Island, and then I found out he knew creative stuff way before Pace made it possible. So he's good. Thursday is
Patriots something buys, right?
huh?
Zach's Patriots buy something. What's Zach's company?
Wicked Smart Investor, but I can't remember his purchasing company.
I think it's like is it Patriots something?
That's
No,
Zach.
that's Zach below.
Oh, okay.
That's the guy. He's in sub 2, used to be a police officer, relocated to Florida. Redhead, has a wife. Yeah. He's actually like a hippie. Like he eats vegan food. He's like the furthest thing from police officer, but he's having the time of his life. He's
so
wonderful. Used to live in Cranston, Rhode Island. This is Zach Ballou. This is Zachary Beach. Zachary Beach was doing creative way before Pace was doing it because his father-in-law taught him how to do it. And he has this thing called a triple payday sort of deal, but it's essentially he does a sub 2 with a lease option, and then there's 3 different times that you get paid out on it. Teaches it as a mentorship, and his mentorship has ended up on the Fortune 500, which means you have to be doing like 6 figures to $1 million worth of revenue to even get on that list. And he's been on that list multiple times. So I went to a Thursday night call, and it's all older white men.
I need to get on that call.
So it's on the calendar.
I'll check it out.
Thursday night. So Thursday is Tall Ships in Boston. That's supposed to be like the who's who in real estate in all of Massachusetts. So that might be
there's some heavy hitters that just like Boston developers and shit that are going to be there, big time agents. Like,
can you name drop? Who are you saying that you're like?
I don't know. It's like so Evo Boston is like one of the brokerages that Ricky Volney or Volney Capital, Ricky Bellevue runs. Ricky did like the Woo Sox big apartment complex in Worcester, next to the new stadium.
Yeah.
He's done that. He's doing 20-50. He's done 20-50 unit new construction and Everett and stuff like that. He used to do a ton in Everett. He does like lending. So like him alone and his brokerage, between them and the agents there, like they pull developers, small, big, tons of condo, townhouse like project people.
Make money.
Like you see like the nice cars rolling up there. Like they're there, it's those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I gotta go rent the car real quick before I pull up there.
That's Thursday. And then there's an event on Saturday, Connecticut. That's a woman's thing, though. I know you can get in touch with your female side. I'll come with you. And then next week, Simplified REI in Waltham. Just look at the calendar. Cheat sheet. I'll tag you. Cheat sheet. Go to the calendar, but like be cognizant when you look at it, and you'll be like, "Oh, easy. Should be easy." And if it's not easy, come yell at me.
Roger that. Let me go. Wife just texted me.
Love you. Goodbye. Tell you
later. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Keith, talk to me. What do you got going on?
Anything and everything.
Start with one. Listen, I was thinking that Anna, Rodolfo's wife, contacted me. I'm pretty sure they can do it. It just has to make sense. I don't know if she's working a job right now, but I think that was the concern, is they share a car. So he didn't want to leave her without transportation, and that's why he initially said no. But yeah. He's a hungry guy. I know I think I explained to you, I met him through Celso, who I gave you that guy's contact information. Celso is a little bit of a pimp. He's your age, and his son is a GC, and then he runs all of the guys. He does a pretty good job of like booking jobs. And the whole reason why I signed up with him is he stood in front of me. He wouldn't leave my house. And he's like, tell me what I got to do to work with you. Whatever I have to do to work with you, I'll do it. And the painting job that I had quotes at like 11,000, 13,000. I think his quote initially came in at 9,000. This is a recorded call. And I fibbed. And I said, I got somebody at 6,000. And he says, I will match it. I ended up giving him 7,000 for it, but they were awesome. He was the one who did the painting too. It's him and a spray gun, and he just went to town. Thing is beautiful. He has other.
The guy you gave me. This guy.
No, I gave you somebody else because Rodolfo. So Rodolfo used to be on his team. Rodolfo used to be on his team. But he has like very skilled painters. So whenever he has a job, he makes sure that the skilled painters get their jobs first. And then Rodolfo is kind of the newer, younger guy that just showed up on the scene. So he cut him first when he didn't have enough work. And so Rodolfo came back to me and said, "Hey, I need some help." I ended up having him do like odd jobs for Andover. Like I had shit to move out of the property, like I don't even know, random stuff. I made him like vacuum my gravel in the basement. That sounds terrible. It was as unterrible as I could possibly make it. It had to be done. But he does touch up. So I had like my electrician who's fucking making holes. He would patch up the holes for me. He does a good job of stuff. So he's a little bit of a handyman, a little bit of paint. And the thing that I love about him is he hustles. Like other guys that I pay $25 an hour for, they're like they're like dying in the corner. They're running on like I don't even know what speed that is. Like negative 10 Red Bulls. That's the speed that they're running at. But he hustles, and that's the thing that I really like about him. And so that's why I was like, I like this guy. He was earning less with Celso, but if you pay him $25 an hour, I'm sure he'll be happy. If you could give him 8-hour days, I'm sure he'll work it.
Yeah, no, if he can get up here on the bus, like I said, I can, I can give him a truck for the time he's up here.
Yeah.
It ain't a great accommodation, but I do have one unit down in Winterport that actually I need painted. But I can set up a bed down there and stuff. It's, a shower where, I mean, it's just, it's gonna have a kitchen put in it and some flooring put in it, then I can rent it. But we're doing other things before I get down there.
I know he could probably, I know he can do a floor. I don't know about, putting in cabinets. I don't think cabinets are too hard, but whenever I see other people doing it, I'm like, wow, that's so easy. I could do it. No.
Yeah. I just want to get this house that I'm doing now painted, because this should be the last week the guys are on it, give or take, and then it's just paint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can get it on the market, because I got to go over Baker Road and start that one. Some guys ghosted me again.
Yeah.
So
Having trustworthy labor that actually shows up and is not on any substance is really important. And then having a guy like Rodolfo who actually hustles, you can get quite a bit done. So I have nothing but great things to say about him. I would also like to hack your Facebook and get you to make a post. I will write the post for you. If you want me to talk to Sally or talk to your daughter, I will. But like, I need you to post in that group. If not, I will post on your behalf and say, I have a friend, Bangor, Maine, who's looking for X, Y, and Z, because I at least want to start the conversation, or at least make the ask of, is there any sort of labor available up where you're at? Because it's ridiculous. I know you're middle of nowhere, but you're not that middle of nowhere, especially in Maine in the summer. Like that's the one time that people should actually go to Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So give me a quick rundown of what you got going on.
Just like I said, I'm finishing that one right there up. Getting my office going down over on Essex Street there. I had to meet my Spectrum guy there, so I got cable in there now. So I just got to my electrician was there this morning, put light in and stuff, a couple of receptacles for me and whatnot. So that's done. Like I said, I got to get over Baker Road. I got to take the top half of that freaking house off, I mean, do that right there, and I got to get that other apartment going in Winterport. There, the one I was, I can let him stay in for, But and then while the guys are doing all that, I'm actually helping a buddy of mine. He's got a bunch of 6-unit foundations open, and he's got crews kind of waiting. So Scotty and I have been friends for years. He's another investor, and so I'm running a machine for him. I'm helping him out. I mean, he pays me, we trade stuff off and whatnot. Because he was going to pull a painter off.
He was going to pull a painter off for you?
Yeah, because he wanted me in the machine.
Yeah.
You know
Listen,
what I mean?
At the end of the day, like quid pro quo, it has to be a sustainable relationship, symbiotic relationship back and forth. I'm a little bit concerned, because I'm a little bit concerned that you're putting your friends first, because I hear you all the time where you're always saying, I'm helping a buddy out, I'm helping out a buddy out, but you have a laundry list of stuff that you want to get done, and you can't get your stuff done because you can't rip off the top of that house because you're too busy doing stuff for your friend who hopefully appreciates you. But I don't understand. I don't know if at the end of the day, you've weighed your scales and said, I'm not doing enough for myself. I'm doing too much for others. Maybe he needs to wait.
Well, he will when I got guys there to do that. You know what I mean? I brought my lull all over. I got everything right there when I'm supposed to meet the guys there. You know, so when this is going to happen, I will be there doing it. But I have time, you know, because I'm not a finished guy. My boys finish stuff a lot quicker than I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I can't trim a house out. Of course I can, but they do it all the time. That's what they do. You know what I mean? So I don't, in a sense, have anything to do. In a sense, I run in the morning, get them, make sure they got whatever they need, and then I kind of go do what I'm doing. Right now, I'm getting my stuff together because I want to start building. And Ben at the bank, he's still kind of, I don't know, because I'm gonna pretty much tell him pretty quick that I'm just gonna take my business. I'll take Winterport away from him, and I'll do it with another bank. I mean,
What are you trying to get from the bank right now?
well, I want to start building. I want to start building on that land. That's the only land. I get 27 acres there, and I'd like to start building. I want to start building some 4 units. You know?
So is this a construction loan?
Yeah, yeah.
What interest rate are you paying?
Most of my stuff is 6.5%, 6.5.
Boom.
You know, it's funny. We had
Yeah.
this entire conversation like weeks ago, and I was like foaming at the mouth where I was like, oh, I got to get on that 6.5%.
Wait, is that acquisition?
No, that's just building new. You know?
Oh, because you already bought the land. How'd you buy the
Yeah.
land?
Huh?
How did you buy the land?
Well, value add. I found it. They wanted $250,000 for it. The 27 acres and the 4 unit. 4 unit had to be rehabbed. So I told him, give him a list of what I'm going to do to it. Send it to the appraiser. The appraiser appraises the place as if it's done. So once the appraiser appraised it at like 498,000 or whatever it was, almost $500,000. So mine, I had to come up with 55,000. Brought that to closing. Bank paid 200. They valued it at 500. Met in the middle, whatever 20% of that was away. I think I got like 132,000 to rehab
Yeah.
the place. So they kind of paid me to buy it. You know what I mean? So
Nice. So we just got to figure out the acquisition side of things.
yeah, I want to start building. You know what I mean? I've helped Scott Mattapong build. That's all they do is they're building and building and building. And, you know, it's time for me because I can do all my own earthwork, dig the hole. I can do my concrete. I don't really want to do the concrete, but on the first couple, I would do my concrete because it'd be a lot cheaper. I just have to pay a little labor to my guys and, you know, whatever the concrete is, get myself going. And the good thing about doing it with the first is a lot of banks say, you know, you're going to have so much down and this and that. The first isn't like that. From day one, you can draw. They'll just give you 80%. You've just got to come up with the other 20. Very simple. Or actually 25. They give you 75% when you build it. You got to come up with a 25. Well, my 25 is in earthwork, you know, earthwork and foundation. That's the biggest part. Fluff that up high and go from there.
Jace, Keith is one of my all-time favorite people. I've known him for years now. He lives kind of middle of nowhere. I think it's like 3 hours away from me if I drive. This man used to come. I held 10 meetups.
That's your door?
That's my mom, but she has a key to the house, so why is she ringing the doorbell? I might have to go in a minute. He came to all 10 of my meetups that I had over the course of 2.5 years. He would drive and carpool down, not only him, but have like a car train down, him and like 2 others, and make like a boys' car ride. He's the oldest guy in the car, right? It's hard to kind of like, oh, we're going to talk about TikTok today and all your little dance videos. Like, I don't know what to talk to you about. But this man showed up every single time, stayed the entire time. And at the last minute, she's knocking. And at the last minute where he had to go, then he would go. You know what I mean? Like, but he stayed till last minute. I love Keith. Get to know him. He's the real deal. I let my sister lend to him. That's how much I like him. That's how much I trust him.
Or she doesn't like her sister. I don't know.
No,
Uh,
Sharky's
Good
good
stuff.
people.
Good to meet you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like Maine, so don't listen to her.
I'm traumatized. That's whatever.
We'll
I told
fix that.
everybody I was going to have a pork barbecue on my Muslim friend's lawn who stole from me. So it's my first pit stop. It's either there or and I leave in a straitjacket. But we'll see.
I like
So
your
that's
style, girl.
listen. We go big or go home, right? Anyway, so I have Rodolfo's wife talking to me. Well, let's see about getting him up there. I would like for you to also post on the Facebook group that I have, and see who else we can get for you up there, because I hate this not having people. And I've been in that situation before where it was hard for me to find people in freaking metropolitan freaking Massachusetts. It's just hard. So I've been there before. Yeah. And you're only one person.
Yeah. It's just, believe it or not, up in this little territory, there's a lot going on up here. Everybody's busy.
Maine is
Everybody's busy.
popping right now.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Why can't you get anybody to do work?
'Cause they're all
General labor.
working. I mean, just Christ, Scotty's got 4 crews working.
Mm.
You know, I mean, he's got right now. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vacant 6-unit foundations, because I'm doing 2 of them right now, so the crews can come down to do them because they just finished up 1. He's got 5 other 4 units being built on another end of a piece of property, a road that I built for him. He's got 3 houses going on another subdivision that we built, you know, did the road on and stuff. You know, he just and Natapong's got, I just did 3 2-unit foundation slabs for him. And he's got another 5 4-unit buildings going in. He kind of wanted me to do the road and water, and I just still don't know if I can do it for him or not. But you know, I'll see. I mean,
he's popping, but he doesn't define all of the population in Bangor and Maine.
I understand, but I mean, everybody is, you know, everybody's busy.
All right,
You know,
Keith, the best way to contact you is to have people call you.
Normally.
All right, I'll do that. I'm gonna pimp you out. If there's a way to find men,
am I part of your Facebook group?
I don't know.
Did you send me a link and
Probably. Listen,
the
Facebook group is awesome. It's Massachusetts and New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I adopted it from somebody, but it's great because like each post. So look at this. This is like all my friends, but who's this? Zyle. He's an agent in Haverhill. He needs like somebody to clean the property. He has 35 comments just on his post, right? But I promise you, he doesn't have people just commenting on his post. He has people in his DM trying to hit him up and like quickly broker the deal and not show up in his comments like this. Somebody else is looking to hire landscaping in Hudson, 41 comments for framing subcontractor in Concord, New Hampshire. So there are people willing to work. And then on top of it, anyway, so I want you to post there. I've posted plenty myself, but people then, if I post it, then they're going to direct message me, and I don't want them to do that. I want them to directly message you, your daughter, your wife, or contact you, because it's going to create traffic jam with me if they come to me to get to you. So I'd much rather you do it. Yeah. So I'll invite you to it, but it's contractors help contractors. It's wonderful. It's literally the reason why, as much as I want to go back to Rhode Island, I'm so spoiled with it. Like, it's so easy. I'm like, I need a I need a hair clip. And they're like, oh, I got it for you. I need hydro seed. Okay, I got it for you. And they'll tell me their prices. Like, I don't have to do any weird, I don't have to meet everybody. I show them a picture and they're like, a truck of hydro seed is $7.50. And I seed twice because I sprinkle it first and then I put the glue stuff on top. And I'm like, bet, great, easy. You're my winner. I can just tell by the way that people talk to me. So that's why I want people talking directly with you. Because
Keith, I'll say too, like, if you cannot find labor locally, and I have this, well, I see this issue a lot. Like, my Nantucket triplex is one unit is pretty much just workforce housing for people who are coming in doing trades jobs all summer long.
I love that.
Yes, it's a shitty unit. Like, if you're on vacation, it's a basement apartment. It's perfect for like 5 guys who are there to work, right? So don't be afraid to bring in labor too if you have to. Like, if it's somebody who can drive in and make the trip just to get it done. Because like, it's the opportunity cost. People want their job done for the summer so they can go enjoy their home. And I've just had guys in and out starting from March when I opened up the calendar for this year.
Yeah. I love Keith.
Now I gotta start utilizing that stuff.
Yeah.
Who do you have to help you to do any sort of like Facebook? I know you got your wife and she's doing her own thing with insurance, but I know you got kids. I know you got a daughter somewhere. What's she doing?
Sleeping on the couch right now.
She's sitting on the couch right now. We need to put her to work. Keith, come on now. How else is she supposed to grow hair on her chest if she's not working? What's her name?
Kendra.
Kendra. Would she be willing to help you just make a post?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I'm sure she would.
Yeah. Even if you need to put her and me and you on a group text, and if you can't do that, just give me her number and I will put us on a group text. I want to make sure that you get what you need up there because I feel like the issues you have, as small as they are, they're annoying. And if there's something that I can do to help fix it fast, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I gotta get my ass again and do it because I'd like to do more. You know what I mean? I could do a lot more work.
What's going on with your seller finance storage deal?
That went gone.
What happened?
Oh, just it couldn't. The numbers wouldn't work. Just couldn't make the numbers work.
It's nice having you. Go take care of
Oh
you.
no, I'm gonna stay on and eat.
Oh, that's great. Mukbang.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no, just the numbers wouldn't work. It just what he wanted for down payment just now, you had to buy it cash. That was the only way. He said one of them deals that he said he'd sell or finance it, but I mean, one side of it only has $3,500 worth of friggin' cash flow, Yeah, the other side has, a short period of, $60,000-$80,000 or so, but it just you can't kind of depend on that in a sense. You know what I mean? I mean, you could try to work a balloon, but the thing is you can't tie everything up because you've got to grow that business. You got to put a couple more buildings in to grow that business so you can either go to the bank and, refinance or sell it. One of the two, but either or, you got to make that much, you got to make it worth it.
Yeah.
So Keith, I know nothing about this deal or property, but like, if he had a certain number in mind for what he wanted for monthly payments, but you had value add to do, would he consider deferred payments?
No, he was
Delulu?
he was a pretty strickler. He wanted a couple $100,000 down is what he wanted. You know what I mean? Because he still owed he wanted like $875,000 for the place, which is probably $150,000 too much.
Mm-hmm.
It probably only really worth $700,000. But in a seller finance, it's really not the total amount of money in a sense. What it's, you know what I mean? It's the terms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can make it work, And he wanted to. He was pretty adamant. He wanted $200,000 down. He was going to clear up the $130,000 mortgage that he had on it, and he's going to keep the rest in his pocket, you know? And coming down to it, it's like the only possibility of making it work would be, I mean, you got to have somebody there 40 hours. That's $800 a week. You got to have $500 for, you know, taxes, insurance, and stuff during that month. There's only $2,000 left, $2,200 left out of the 3,500. You'd have to keep the mortgage in place, pay the mortgage out of that 2,000.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. And whatever's left would be his interest, because this would only be interest only, you know. That would be his, and one of the interest payments to him. And then out of the roll wrap, you know, if you make 80,000, you could give him maybe $20,000 or $25,000 interest payment, you know, because you got to keep that 60 grand or better, something $60,000-$70,000, because you've got to build a building. So here you've done all year to build a building. There's no cash flow, there's no nothing, and the cash flow's so tight. You know what I mean? It just, you know, it just wasn't worth it.
So
I mean,
Keith,
anyone
if
that lived there.
you are not moving forward with that deal, would you be comfortable having Mark send his guy to either beat him up, make him an offer, or like, you know what I mean? Like, so Mark, so we're talking about the seller finance deal up in Maine. Yeah, you're muted. He's saying that the guy initially he said the guy wanted 875, a couple $100,000, clear out a mortgage. And now Keith is saying like he kind of just wants too much, and I don't think Keith wants to move forward with it because he's asking for a couple $100,000 down. But I know you have a guy that might be interested in doing storage. Keith, if you're no longer interested in the deal, it might be worth selling the lead, right? That somebody else could make something with it, or maybe Mark's guy can beat him up / tenderize him, and he can come running back into your wide, soft arms, right?
Yeah. He was meeting with another guy this afternoon, I guess, and he seemed pretty.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
Oh yeah, don't.
I'll split anything with you, right? So it's not like you're just gonna give me the lead and you get nothing. Like I want this to make sense for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even know if my guy's gonna be interested. He's like out in California.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you could, I mean, a few guys have tried to buy it. I mean, it's only 59 units, but you can expand it. You could put another, you know, you could put another 3 buildings there.
My thing is I'm not an operator, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather put an operator in the seat. They're gonna know how to underwrite the deal. They get all the capital for it, or they'll get it. Like
Yeah.
he will look at that in 5 minutes and give you an answer, is my guess. If it's something he's even interested in, you know. Me, it was just gonna take me away from what I do.
Yeah.
That's my only issue with it, you know.
Yeah.
Have somebody else try to crack the nut and maybe get paid for the lead, and if not, tenderize it and sit there waiting pretty for them to come back.
Or just make the offer that you need it to be. Like actually make the offer, make it real.
That too, yeah.
Because if you like,
he wouldn't accept that.
So
offer.
Keith,
write it up and send it to him though.
You say that, but so Mark signed an offer. I don't even remember all the numbers to it. The guy wanted like 250, then they were going to do sub 2 at 200, and then they thought they were going to sell it for 180, and then he got pissed off with the last buyer because the last buyer was going to drop it 30,000, and then Mark signed it for 160. He just wrote a contract and the next day wakes up to like signed contracts. How nice is that, right? But I'm fucking surprised. But at the end of the day, he sends it and shit happens. So I do think making the actual formal offer and making it real for somebody and showing them like, I'm here, whatever the expression is, I pay to play, or I'm here.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be done.
It's tangible, right? Like literally whatever the reason is he's selling it, he gets an offer floated over to him that he can digitally sign. It's sitting him smack dab in the face, you know, sitting in his inbox. And he's like, I can be done with this in 2 fucking clicks, you know? And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Keith, I got
He,
5
he
calls this week on a vacant lot that I own. And I'm like,
Nice.
yeah, send me an offer.
Where is it?
California. It's
Okay.
free shit. I've never been there. I don't know. Bought it for funsies.
How'd you buy this deal middle of nowhere in California? How do you know it's real?
I did pull a title report. I am a certified realtor.
I
Don't
know
lie.
you're a TC. I know you're a TC. Yeah.
No, but like I've gotten 5 calls on it and I'm every single one of them I'm like, "Hey, just make me an offer." You know how many offers I've gotten?
0.
Because
Yeah.
they're probably all wholesalers and they want to process you with all their questions or whatever it might be, right? Like they want to figure out your pain points, your motivation, all that shit.
Yeah. I'm like, "It's vacant. I've never been there. I don't know. Give me an offer." And not one of them has even given me a number over the phone, Keith. And if I get like an actual offer, I would probably just sign it at this point. Like I would
How much you asking? What's your price?
make me an offer, Mark. Come on, read the room.
Where is this mysterious piece of land?
It's in San Bernardino County. I don't even know what town it's in.
Can I do something cool? Like, can I camp on it?
Yeah, it's a 5,000 square foot lot, so there might be
Oh.
somebody camping there already. I don't know.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
They
but
have
like,
an app. They have an app for like people camping. They have so many cool things, but like one of the first things we ever bought as like a sub 2 group together was going to be like it was ranch land, I think is what they have out there. It's nothing. It's literally
Yeah.
nothing. And we were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to make it like a camping spot and people will actually go and there'll be no facilities at all, but like send it, like go park whatever you want to park on it." And there were, I think I downloaded like 5 different apps of like people that do that kind of stuff. $13 a night. Park your car. Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. What are you eating? Are you eating soup
Hmm.
in Texas in the summer?
Yeah.
What
They
is
run
what's the
AC.
matter with you?
Yeah, like I go from one air conditioned space to another. The only reason I'm inside is because there were bugs out there. Um, I made it's a Thai chicken meatball soup. It's Whole30. It's
Wow.
freaking delicious. Not that
Yeah.
I do Whole30, but like, I like to eat
Yeah.
Yeah.
relatively
Sounds
healthy.
delicious. I have a friend who lives in Arizona, told me they had to change out their tires after 12,000 miles because that shit is so hot out there that shit's melting.
I believe that.
I was
Yeah.
like, at this point, live underground and like never leave your house. I don't know what you're doing out there because that place is, the devil's armpit. I don't know what to tell you.
I will take this over snow in April though, and the
Okay.
weekends that you guys have been having. Every month
Oh,
my
13
sunny.
Saturdays in a row, all rain. Yeah, can't mow my
Yeah,
grass.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple Airbnb guests try to cancel, be like, one of them told me that she had COVID, but also the weather was not looking great. And I was like, yeah, if you reach out to your
Honestly, it
travel
wasn't
insurance.
it
Yeah.
wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. A little bit of sprinkle, great free car wash. It's great.
I don't think COVID's an excuse anymore, but
No,
that's
it's
just
not.
me.
I mean, if you had travel insurance, I'm sure it would cover it, but that's not my problem.
Exactly.
Lo and behold, they came. They had a great time.
Yeah.
Love it.
So you have short-term rentals is that the one on the Cape or?
It's on Nantucket. So I have it's
Look at you.
3 doors. That is the weirdest house. I have 3 doors and 4 units on there. So one is the basement apartment. One is the existing cottage that was there. That's a long-term rental. One is a house that was moved to the property, literally cut in half and then moved down the road, which I tell people that here and they're like,
Wild.
"What?" But there it's a very normal thing. The guy bought it for $10 and had it moved to the property. And then there's a suite within that house because I have a long-term guy in the house, and then I have a bedroom of the house that's like has its own entrance and exit. That's short term.
Wow.
So
Nantucket. Good Lord, woman, you're everywhere.
that was a seller finance.
I don't care. What is it? California to Nantucket, like what? And top to bottom, Massachusetts to North Carolina. Bitch,
So,
you
but
everywhere.
that was a product of, like Mark was saying earlier, not being focused, not really
Mm,
knowing what I was doing, just like, oh, that's cheap. I'll buy it. I'll sit on like The lot in
It's better
California
than
I paid
doing nothing.
$500 for.
It's
I'm in
And
that
better
kind of
than doing
situation.
nothing.
yeah. Yeah. So I was just like, no, okay, I'll do it. Let's see what happens. Like, what's the worst thing that happens? And there have been a few worse things, ironically, not on the deals that I thought they would be, but
Mm.
that
All right.
was a slam dunk. I'm so proud of that one. But that was all pre-pandemic too.
Mm. Going forward, what are you hoping to accomplish this week? What are you looking forward to besides your soup?
I am looking forward to it's been fun looking for deals. I love that like thrill of the chase. I'm frustrated with the numbers that I'm seeing and what I'm penciling because I'm like, how is I don't understand how home buyers are doing it, like with salaries, and I definitely don't understand how investors are doing it right now.
Where are you trying to buy?
I love the South Shore all the way to the Cape. I went to school at Mass Maritime, so I know the Cape very well because I was down there every single weekend. Have drank in a lot of fields on Cape Cod. Um, and so I'm looking for multifamilies, like small multis with value adds, because that's been what I've been able to do relatively successfully, but I just don't know that that exists.
How do you feel about Fall River?
I would do Fall River. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And I like the North Shore too. Like I think I told you my aunt is in Andover. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
I like that you're in South Shore. I think I only have like one or two people that work in South Shore. Jay Gatta, he's not sub two. Clinton Reynolds, who is like kind of Rhode Island and then South Shore. But honestly, that drive is so annoying now that they broke the that stupid bridge that they'll never fix. Like so dumb. The traffic is terrible. I'd rather take a rowboat, canoe, jet ski to get to the other side and bypass that bullshit. But yeah, that's like an extra hour drive from Rhode Island. So we don't really have anybody doing North Shore stuff, with the exception of Mark's friend, Dustin. Yes?
Yeah, I have a lot. I have a ton of South Shore leads.
Do you?
I mean, they're not hot or hitting like on contracts at the moment, but if it's something that, I mean, I'm low. So if it's
What's the
something where
play
you're
though?
in
Is it that
between
you can
me,
flip it? Is it like that you can burr it or that you can flip it? Like
like
what's the
probably more may I don't know about the rates, but like probably maybe more alongside of the Burr or just
okay.
like a long-term rental. Like I feel like landlords would be able to pay more. But like I'm usually running stuff at like flips and I'm just like I'm pretty low, and then I'll try to like shop it around. Like I'm doing that with Celeste right now. Went on an appointment, seller wants like too high. Celeste has a different way of looking at it where it's, co-living. So I'm like trying to get a price out of her to see what she would be able to offer, and then maybe either I represent both the seller and the buyer as an agent, or maybe I get it under contract and work myself in a spread or whatever. But I'm happy to do that. Like I'm doing that with Chris Cowie right now on Ipswich deal. I'm doing that with Suzanne. I, brought that to her. I would much rather like go on an appointment, have a really good idea of where the seller will sign, bring people in and reverse wholesale it, and then just get it signed and not have to do a walkthrough with a bunch of people who know nothing about the deal and all that stuff. Like a small walkthrough of like three, maybe four people max.
Okay.
It's like people who've already run numbers and they're pretty kind of sure.
Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
like to operate.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, because that's the other thing is like I'm on a few lists, Mark, and I'm like, I'm not even at this property. Your pictures are shitty, and I still know that your rehab is so far off.
The list, yeah, I don't know, especially like the new westerns and shit. Like you got to think, you have an acquisition manager who's going out there or a wholesaler that's doing what he thinks is his job, getting it under contract at a price that he thinks that makes sense, bringing it to a company that pays way high because they just have buyers that pay even higher. So not you're probably not getting like those wholesalers probably aren't getting it at a great price, and then they're tacking two fees on top of it,
Yeah.
and then so it's like I don't really pay attention to any of it. I block it out. I don't care if I'm not direct to seller. I don't really care about it.
Okay.
Within reason, there'll be some things, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it'd be different if I was like actively looking for like flips, right? And I'll get there one day, I think. But
And part of the problem is like I'm not there to GC. I have a good GC that I think can run the project if I need them to, but I'm over here like looking at this duplex in Worcester. Like, am I moving my family to Worcester for a freaking year, building an ADU and calling it a day? Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
This is all within the realm of possibility for being.
So Mark has, so he used to do 5 years with White Acres. He's very good at what he does. A little too good, a little autistically good. That's how good. And I mean that with the highest compliments possible. Because the data that he will pull just on land alone, I'm like, where the fuck are you getting all this? But it's very thorough. It's great, like to have as a buyer. His prices are super good too, because again, he's worked for a house that had to be a little bit aggressive. It's great. So he's able, the prices that he gets on things, I'm shocked by, but it's great when you're a flipper because you need that kind of margin. If you're able to pay a little bit more, or, might be able to actually close some deals that are asking for a little bit higher than flip numbers, that might be a great sweet spot for you. He has his system that he actually offers to people, so you can go in there and literally make calls on your own and write notes on it, or cherry pick out things that you're interested in, things that you like. And then he runs a call on Wednesdays for that. So Wednesdays he like opens up his stuff. You can cherry pick out things. He works with wholesalers to bring deals, and then have wholesalers, I guess, kind of hammer on his leads. But yeah, get together, have some fun, mix it up.
Yeah, I actually have a multi-list that I have to dump into there. So that should be good. I think there's a lot of stuff in Worcester, actually. I got it from Andrew Freed and like in Zach Gray about their buy box. So
Your multi-list, is it residential multi?
no, I think it's commercial. I think they pulled it from like CoStar. Pretty much I was like, guys, nice meeting you at the meetup. You mentioned you would pay equity if I bring you leads. Like if you pull a list or just tell me where you want, like if you pull a list, I'll get to calling. And it took them a little bit, but they got back to me and they're like, hey man, here's a list. And I was like, cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
good stuff. So you're shopping this week.
Yeah.
Me too, also shopping. Do you have a metric to see how good you've shopped? So last week I was supposed to put in 3 offers. That was my goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Ooh, the ooh was to 3 offers because I haven't found anything for an offer.
But I still think you should send it, like the same way that we said to
Question.
Keith.
That's true.
Hang on. Yes.
Well, okay. How do you feel about 20 Johnson Road?
I don't know what that is.
Andover, the Andover deal. That's now under agreement.
Yeah. I didn't get to see it.
I understand. But this comes back to my point of like, you got to get comfortable making offers with some sort of contingency that protects you at an offer that makes a price that you feel makes sense for you. Let's protect you in your down payment and stuff like that. I understand that you didn't get to walk it. I walked it. And I understand you need the control of actually being there. But my point was, let's make the offer. Let's make it real. Let's make it cash. Let's make it easy with a 24-hour inspection period or something that protects your shit, right? And at least we get the offer in, and then you're like 1/3 of your way towards the goal for your like KPIs for that week.
Fair.
And then if we could secure it and you didn't like it, fuck it.
Yeah, fair.
But
good electrified fork. Thank you. So the goal is 3 offers, and I agree with what Mark's saying, which is even if the offer doesn't make sense at their asking price, to still send your price, because it starts the conversation. And I've been there before. Like, I had my first flip that I ever did, lost money on. You think Keith is middle of nowhere. This is extra middle of nowhere, Brookfield, Massachusetts, like 0 buyers out there. And I ended up flat fee listing it on MLS. I talked to everybody who came through myself. And the person that I ended up moving forward with is somebody who actually made me an offer, because I knew at that point, like, they're serious enough to put it on paper. Let's just get the number to where it needs to be. I ended up selling it for like a $5,000 loss. which was great for them because they were able to do all the things that they did. But the conversation would not have started had they not actually submitted an offer. And you can tell, like, just the questions that they ask if they're going to submit one. So I think it's important, like, it's the first step in making shit real is submitting it. So I agree with, like, even Keith, the offer, he can ask for whatever he wants to ask for. In donkeys and rainbows, I don't care. But you're like, listen, I got a horse. If you're hungry, you can eat my horse. You know? Do you get my analogy, Keith?
Oh, I
Anyway,
made, oh, no, I made him two different offers.
yeah,
Verbal,
good,
you
good.
know, verbal. I mean, I was trying to see where his head was. You
Yeah.
know, the first one, actually, the first one really wasn't an offer. It was what he wanted. And I verbally spoke that. And how is that? That can't happen. You know,
So
that offer can't, we can't, that's completely undoable. Completely
offer
undoable.
or anchor? Because like anchoring is strong, and that gets a litmus test from the seller, right? Hey, you're asking for 875. Hey, let's imagine that I was able to offer you 875, but the terms were A, B, and C, right? Now you're putting it into his head like, hey, can I get that number? And you're seeing how reasonable he is. Even if the number's not reasonable, but your terms are reasonable for you to make that number happen, and he's not doing it, now he's asking a high price and unreasonable terms. Got it. Check. So that's me anchoring somebody, letting him know like where things might be. And then you go to the next route of like, hey, let's make this more real. Like let's say, hey, you want 875, got it. Let's say we did 700 cash close in 14 days, right? Now all of a sudden it's a low ball offer, quote unquote, to him on what he wants, but it's done in 14 days. Again, it depends on like what his needs are and roadblocks and time constraints and all that stuff. Maybe he can't close in 14 days for whatever reason, so don't propose that. But if he was saying like, hey, I want to get it done, it's just levers to push. It's like, hey, purchase price, hey, closing timeline, hey, leave shit behind, no commission, or whatever it is. You're sitting there pushing and pulling levers, and you're doing a lot of that as an anchor to see where he might become a little bit more reasonable. And then from there, based on like whatever you deduce after anchoring multiple times in those scenarios, again, this is not my offer. I'm just saying, what if this happened, came from me, somebody else, right? And then after that, you write up what you think that you deduce that is going to be what might actually get it done. And then you write it up, you send it to him, let him know, hey, 50K deposit, whatever it is. Email very clearly with the terms, signed offer there, picture of $1,000 deposit check or whatever. And that like makes it real. And he'll still say no, and that's fine. But there's also like a seller cycle of like they're thinking about it, inception, right? The price is the highest. And then they're actually in the market research, talking to you, talking to the other guy, talking to the other guy. He wants 875. They're all at 500. Now all of a sudden he's getting hit with like real market data from real operators and real buyers. It's like, and then he's coming down to earth a little bit, right? He might not sell this thing for 3 years and maybe he takes 400 then. But it's all just like that is the game. And like that's how you get the deepest discounts is by like continuing to follow up and just pierce. But they also need to go out and do their own research too, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mark, you're very good at what you do. I don't even think you realize how good you are at what you do.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it going on. I can do it. It's a superpower.
Now that I've complimented you and you complimented yourself, now I want to knock you back down. Sorry. But you're great at what you do, and I'm very impressed with you from time to time. Just like on what you say. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good stuff. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So she's making offers. I'm making offers. Keith, what are you up to this week besides securing labor out there? So we're gonna talk to Rodolfo's wife. I'll do that. We're gonna get you posted on Facebook. If we need Kendra's support, we can do that. What else?
I want to stop building, so I gotta get.
Shopping money.
Yeah, yeah. I already got a hold of Andy there today, and he sent me something. I haven't looked at it yet. So I had a good talk with his guy, and his guy wants to do business with me. You know what I mean? He likes doing business. I've been doing it a while, and he understands that just from conversation, you know, that we had and stuff. We probably talked about 40 minutes there one day, a while back, and he wants to do something and everything. And Andy's been keeping in touch with me and stuff, and he actually touched me today. I was going to call him, and but he touched me today, so I got to get back with him. I told him what I was looking for. You know, I want to start building what from ground up, what will you guys do? Because they'll also get a loan afterwards. They'll refinance, the package afterwards. So we'll have to see.
So you talked to Andy. What's the next step from here?
I guess talk to Ben again. I'd rather do it with Ben because then it can stay in place. You know what I mean? So if I get a refinance, it always costs money to refinance. So.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that I can do to help you?
No, you've done quite a lot. I just got to get with Rolo there. Rolo, how do you pronounce it? I'm gonna call him Rolo. I hope you don't
You
get
call him
offended.
whatever you want to call him. Rodolfo, but it's
Rodolfo.
like Rudolph, but Brazilian.
Okay, Rodolfo. Yeah.
Rodolfo.
Yeah, I'd like to get him up here. He sounds like a good guy, I mean,
He's good.
Yeah.
The only critique I have for him is his butt crack shows, and that's like my one pet peeve. But he's hustling, right, which is why his pants are falling down. But he's a sweet guy.
Keep
Yeah.
an extra paintbrush there.
No.
You know?
I just thought about plucking the hairs out and putting them actually into
Oh
like
man.
so my mind went places. No, great guy, really sweet. I use a lot of, what is it? His wife, I guess, might speak. He's better in person. Don't be stressed out. There's not going to be that much of a language barrier. We use Google Translate a lot. He's like 35. So even if you don't know how to work the phone, he knows how to work the phone, that you can talk into it and he'll understand what you're saying. He's good. And plus he knows what good work is. He did good work at my house in Andover.
Yep.
Yeah. Mark, what are you up to this week? Goals for you? What are you looking forward to?
Sorry, Keith. Keith, this storage unit, this guy bought this for 200,000 in 2024.
No, just barely. No. What are you talking about? No, he bought this he's had it for 30 years. I mean, he's run out of this one building. He's run an antique place. He run a lobster thing and stuff. And just over the past, I want to say he's had that for 16 years. The storage facility.
I might be on the wrong address.
Mike,
Anyways.
did he pull cash out maybe?
Yeah, he has a balance of like
200.
What's the address?
Yeah.
What is the address? It's
172 Exeter Road. 172 Exeter Road.
Very possible. Let me
I had one that looked like that the other day. It looked like a sale, but they had pulled cash out.
65 Newport Road, Corinna.
Makes me feel better. Okay. I'll run with it. Yeah, that's looking better.
What are you doing this week?
I am doing stuff. Need to file a memorandum on the Boston land deal, and then find buyers who will buy it as is. I have it contingent on permits for a 12-month closing. Also, I put some sunset language in there that hopefully holds. I'm not an attorney, but hey. We got the clear to close today for Maine to close on the property in Maine in Sanford.
Nice.
So that's happening Friday. We are looking good for closing on Friday in Swansea. Strange fucking thing happened. This has never happened to me. So like I'm assigning the deal. I'm working through an attorney. The attorney was the one who I was dealing with when I made the offer. I already have an assignment agreement signed with the buyer. It's like a 75K spread that's getting split 4 ways, unfortunately. But so today the attorney, so like I wanted to make sure that the closing attorney for the buyer has connected with the seller's attorney, just so that we're able to close, pulling MLCs and all that. And so like I did confirm, they're like, yeah, the title company reached out to us. Great, we've been in contact. Awesome. They send another email back. Hey, Mark, this is the seller's attorney, mind you. We need you to sign this assignment agreement. So the seller's attorney drafted me an assignment agreement assigning my rights to the buyer, which we already have one. There's no language in it saying that this supersedes all other documents, blah, 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 blah. There's also obviously not my fee in there. and there's only me signing it, not the buyer. So like I signed it and just sent it back, knowing that I have the other assignment fee agreement that the title company has, right? So I'm looking for, it was just like a really strange situation.
Why
But it was
didn't you
all,
tell him? Why didn't you tell him it's already done?
I didn't want to bring up any like questions because then they would want me to share it. And then they were like, I just didn't want them to get weird about the fee. Like, I know the attorney is a G, and like this is kind of case in point. I think they're
Mhm.
just like, I think it's a CYA thing, like cover your ass
Yeah.
for
Okay.
them, right? So, anyways, but it was just funny. I would like to sign that Ipswich deal if possible, or at least like get them to okay that. But like, hey, I don't want to do a walkthrough, get your partner in before we sign. I
Yeah.
could see that happening. I want to,
Chris is a sure thing. If he walks in and gives you a number, it's game over. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel good about that. I just I haven't been able to get in touch with the brothers, so they're probably scrambling trying to find a couple other people before whatever. Hopefully
Mm.
the fact that like they know my mom and knew my uncle, like maybe that'll help. Um I did schedule the in-person appointment in Lynn. It's a foreclosure lead that we discussed. It's probably going to be a short sale, which could be interesting. That's also going to push me to maybe need some money, Jace. Because I'll have to like double close it. But
I have a list of lenders that I put together because just everybody's looking for money. I was looking for money. The double close people, there are several double close people that can do it, and the fee
okay.
is not too much. Um,
I'm a
yeah,
long ways away from that, but I'll definitely take you up on it when I get closer. But pretty much it would be like a short sale. I would sign a like a PNS for like 12-month closing contingent on short sale or something like that. And then I would have to like list the property and go through that process, which is like a 6 to 12 month process typically.
have you done a short sale before?
Yeah.
Okay, how
I
many?
love them. They were great when I was doing them. Again, I might have been operating in a gray area, but anyways, I need to get the lease option and additional docs signed for the New Hampshire sub 2 deal. Um, I was supposed to meet a Newburyport lead today that was like I've already been kind of talking with Chris Cowie about.
He loves Newburyport, loves
Yeah.
it.
This guy's high price expectations, it's an oldie. It's like 1700s.
Yeah.
You know. I'm trying to get out fishing at least once. I'm gonna ride my dirt bike once. I'm gonna go lounge by the pool a few days a week. And
And wear sunscreen.
I'm getting there. Um, yeah, and that's what I got going.
What's the biggest hurdle for you this week?
Um, I'll say Ipswich deal because that's just like not it's not there yet. Like the memorandum stuff, like Hong's working on, and hopefully that can get recorded tomorrow. But I would say the Ipswich deal just because like I have a verbal from one of the brothers, and one of the other brothers is actually in real estate but lives up Maine, and he's like, well, like if maybe if we I was like, why don't you just renovate it? Like you're in real estate. What are you doing? He's like, yeah, but I'm up here, and then if I did, I would have to spend the money on it, and then I would be asking for more of a cut for my siblings and stuff, and I don't know if they're down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair point. I'd say that's my biggest hurdle between that and
Bring,
getting doc signed for Farmington.
bring him on as a lender then. If he has money for stuff, bring him on as a lender.
Yeah,
Rich,
maybe.
rich brother in Maine who's also going to inherit more money.
Well, he
Give
wants to
them.
sell stuff too. So like I'm talking to him, hey, let's focus on Ipswich first. If things go well, then let's talk about Maine, right? I think he might be up your neck of the woods, Keith. I don't know.
Who's the guy?
Middle of nowhere, iceberg,
He's like
tundra,
up, I feel
next to
like
the penguins.
up north of Bangor, maybe.
What's his name?
Mm, Bobby Martineau
There's a train that goes to Bangor. I know it's not total useless wasteland. It is
down east.
part of civilization. There's an Amtrak that goes right to it. It might be end of the line. I don't know. But a 6 hour train ride from Boston.
So I would say between Ipswich and then just making sure that we're getting our contractors like hitting the ground running on Maine. I just got a good email back from one guy who's like, I can take care of all of your scope of work, literally. And he's like, I also got like a landscaper buddy who I can get over there and I'll be there Monday. He was trying to pull a slick one. So like we were mentioning like what price point we're trying to hit for the like we're not trying to do a full renovation. We want to hit like, maybe 300. We're probably gonna list a little bit under. He was like, hey, what price did you contract it at? I was like, buddy, get out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, busy week. It's good stuff. I'm excited about the Lynn one.
Be a little bit careful when you start doing contractors. I don't want you like putting in your deposit for people you've never worked with before. So when it comes to shelling out money, just touch base with me so that way you're not getting swindled in middle of nowhere, Maine.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take some direction. I don't have zero. Well, I have zero experience being on the buying side of contractors, but I used to work doing landscape quotes for backyards, pools, hardscapes, commercial maintenance, estimating and stuff like that. So like deposits schedules and stuff I'm a little bit familiar with. So if
Anything
I
that's like a
see something
borderline
wacky,
red flag, just ask,
yeah,
because I can tell you
absolutely.
whether or not it's complete bullshit,
Yeah.
and it has to jog my memory because I'm not remembering like do this. You just gotta be like, this is a problem, and I'll tell you yes or no.
I'll see stuff on the quote that'll be like, what? I don't like
It's
that.
not even just quote. It's like the way that they talk to you, the way that they show up, how they want payment, what's reasonable, what's not reasonable. I lie a little bit. I lie a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And it's usually like, oh, so and so said this. Can you match that? So and so is
Oh
coming
yeah.
tomorrow. What can you do this? So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, send it.
Wheeling and dealing.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
But yes, I'll
All
definitely
right.
bug you about it.
I love it. Good stuff. I'm really happy to see you be as successful as you are. I think you're in a great stride where you're at now.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I will continue to stride.
Good. Happy striding, not only to you, but to everybody else. Thank you so much for, go ahead.
Where's your meetup gonna be? You said you were thinking about gonna have a meetup put out.
You're gonna come. I'm gonna go to middle of nowhere, Bangor. I'm gonna put everybody on the train station. We're gonna go to what is it?
Going hiking.
Back Bay. 6 hour team bonding, team building on the train. Maybe I'll make it a little Hogwarts themed, and then we're gonna come see you, and then you're gonna train us how to do excavation stuff and teach us how to hurt the land. That's what you should
Yeah.
call your training course: how to hurt the land. Um, so the meetup that I was thinking of is there's a place. It's just a brewery. I don't think you should come down. I'm going to push back on you. I want to go to a meetup where you're at. So I told you that was the goal from last week is there's a meetup that you haven't been to in a minute. I think it's in Bangor. And I told you the next time you go, invite me. I want to come up and go to that main meetup with you. But the meetup I was thinking of having is just something really casual. Friday night, it's a pizza place. It's not going to be like how I used to do it, where we go for a walk, do a workshop, and all that other stuff. It's not the venue for that. I don't know who's out here, and I'm curious to know like who's buying and selling. I'm curious to know like, so the last time I had a meetup was when I finished my house. And I think that was like February 1st or March 1st, something like that. And because Mark has access to meetup.com, a portion of the people that came was from his side, and then a portion of people came from my side, which was sub 2 people. So I would love to do like a who's who in North Shore, like who else is out there? Come say hi, friends of friends, like let's mix it up, let's chop it up, let's make more friends. Because I don't think anybody's really doing anything out here in North Shore. A lot of people get, sexy with Boston and sexy with Worcester, but I'm not finding anything North Shore. Yeah. Keith, don't come down. It's just beer and pizza. It's going to be like 2 hours. I'm going to come up to Maine and we're going to party in Maine. Okay. You're invited to anything, but like, it's just such a long drive. I don't want you to do it. Unless you're already coming down, then maybe.
When is it?
I don't know. I haven't even planned it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll let you know. It'll be on the calendar.
Yeah.
You and I will talk so that you can be a little bit more fluent with everything that I have, because I want you to have access. I make it accessible, and I get very frustrated if you don't find it accessible. So let's fix that. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody have fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Good luck this next week. And
Nice meeting you, Jess.
come back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone.